might be a little harder now because I don't have the headset. But
That's
one
fine.
of the things I use is this guy, and
Ooh.
it's one of the big boy Baofangs. And I mean, this is
Okay. Hold it up close to the
oh
camera thing. Let me see it. Okay.
yeah, and this is this
Do
is
you buy them green like that? You can
yeah,
buy them green? Oh.
and that's the battery. Like that's
Damn.
it's got a it's got
That's gonna
supposedly I
last
haven't
all fucking weekend.
well supposedly it's a 21-hour battery. I haven't
Mm-hmm.
tested it yet. I mean, it is what it is. But a lot of people buy like the super expensive TAC headset
Oh,
adapters and all that stuff.
right.
I don't do that. It's a company called Retfis. You can get it on Amazon. It's $15, and I've had maybe two in the last 4 years, and they work
Really?
great. Yeah, they sit real small. They're made for motorcycles. It sits right against my head.
Oh, yep.
It's got a great PTT button that I put right here on my chest. I mean, it's
Yeah.
I don't have to buy any adapters. It's already Kenwood. It's already got the Kenwood prongs in it to go into the radio. So I've been using that for like 2 years, and people are always like, "Oh, I bought like this $80 headset and these, this $40 PTT, and it
Tactical.
keep, yeah, and it's so tactical, it's so cool." Halfway through the op, yeah, it just stopped working. I don't understand.
Yeah. Isn't
Well,
that wild?
yeah, jackass, because you bought the off-brand one that isn't designed for you to go swimming down the creek in, and you decided
No
to go
shit.
for some surf and turf. Yeah. Me, Meanwhile, me and my Retvis took a swim. All right, cool. Go back to fob, rip out the old Retvis, put in the new $15 Retvis.
Bro, for real. Well, when these guys, it's funny you said the motorcycle thing. When these guys first started going to Milsims and they were getting their gear all set up and they got the bow fangs and they came in here and were asking me about how setting them up or whatever. And I've made a joke about it a couple times on the previous podcast where they're like, "Hey, do you know how to, set all these up, or whatever?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"No." They're like, "Didn't you use those in the military or that type of thing?" I'm like, what? I used a Prick 77. It's fucking a green giant box that went on your back. No, I don't know how to fucking use walkie-talkies. But I told him, I was like, when they were looking for their headset thing to plug into it, I'm like, what about motorcycle stuff? Because I've seen these guys on motorcycles. They're like, they got those things that, the wind cancellation, like
Yeah.
they've got to be really good and for weather and whatever. And so anyway, but yeah, that's funny you mentioned that.
Well, I found it because when I first got into Airsoft, the first thing I saw was like the Mandalorian kits. Have you seen these? The armor kits?
No. Are you talking about
So,
actually from the show? Like that type?
no, like I call
Oh,
them Mandalorian kits. I don't know what they're actually called. I think One
gotcha.
Tigris makes them, but it's like a full set of armor, and they have like a face mask and all this stuff, right? And the
Oh,
guy
nice.
had actually gone out and bought a motorcycle um, microphone and speaker, and he had wired inside of his helmet so that he have comms inside of his helmet.
Oh, that's fucking great.
Yeah, it was super cool. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that too. So I took a paintball mask and I cut it all up, and I made it look cool and all this jazz, and it looked like half hot garbage, but whatever. It was cool to me at the time. And I tried to do the same thing, and I eventually got it to work, but I forgot I overheat fast.
Mm.
So about after 5 minutes of wearing that thing, I just ripped it off. I'm like, give me the glasses and the hat. Like, I don't wear helmets. I don't wear. I wear a green ball cap and glasses. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what Gunfather Milsim, when I had him on, he's talking like, I don't know how it came up, but I said something about helmets. Maybe I told him like what my boys were doing, or I can't remember,
Yeah.
Milsim kind of gear or whatever, and like the helmet, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't wear a helmet. Helmets are like giant targets when you stick them up, when you're trying to peek over something, and they're hot as hell." He goes, "I wear a ball cap." He said he wears a ball cap backwards, and the goggles, of course, but yeah, real
Well,
light.
I used to wear goggles because as you saw when we first started, I wear glasses.
Right.
I'm not wearing them now because nobody wants the anime glare. But
So you're just blind as hell right now.
oh yeah, you're just a big blur. Uh, I
Good.
could I could say this: you probably have never looked better. But
I was gonna say I probably look really good. Fuck yeah. It's like
Oh,
having the beer goggles on.
Yeah, I don't even need them. They come built in. I just roll up to the bar, take those off, and everybody's hot.
Everyone's hot. It's
Uh,
got that. It's that. I think that's where those Snapchat filters came in when girls
yeah,
were doing their pictures and stuff. Selfies. It makes their skin look perfectly, almost like cartoonish,
yeah,
right?
smooth, no
Uh
wrinkles. You can't see makeup lines.
huh. Right.
Um,
Oh yeah.
but oh god, I forgot what we were talking about. Oh, glasses. So, yeah. So one of the things that I use, and if you wear prescription eyeglasses, I cannot recommend these higher.
Really?
These are ESS crossbows. Okay, and these are my actual safety ones that I wear. And as you can see, they've got
Whoa.
the insert,
Those look cool.
and they're full seal, right? We got my full seal. So, and somebody's gonna get glare, but I
The
can
glare's
see.
not bad actually. So, do you buy those with, like, are those your glasses, like prescription things in those, or do you have to put your glasses in them?
So yes, it's weird. Yes, no, I can't really get them out without taking the whole damn thing apart. But
Yeah, don't take them out.
you can see my prescription inside, and you can buy they're called ESS kits, or not ESS kits. What are they? RSS kits. You can
Okay.
buy an RSS kit from Amazon or from ESS Direct. I got them from ESS's website directly. And I bought the crossbow specifically because after spending like 4 hours on the internet trying to figure out,
Yeah.
I'm like, somebody in Airsoft have had to have solved this by now.
No
And
shit.
your Oakley's, and I don't have my Helo kit here, but the Oakley's Helo kit actually fits inside the frames. These are my Oakley's,
Okay.
and they fit inside the frames. So you cannot fit the RXX kit, the eyeglass kit, and the Helo kit onto the same pair of glasses. You can't do it, not without heavily modifying the glasses or the kit.
Okay.
Now, the crossbow kit, it goes all the way around, as you can see here, leaving room for the nose piece for you to clip in your
Yep.
RXX.
And
So,
by the way, those look fucking. That's the coolest looking goggles I've seen for people that have prescription lenses or prescription glasses.
and somebody on the internet's going to probably correct me if I'm wrong, but from my understanding, ESS is basically an off-brand of Oakley.
Oh,
So
okay.
same protection on the lenses. They're just a different design, different branding, and I mean
Should I
they're
look
not.
that shit up right now?
Yeah, they're not bad. And the best thing about it is at the very top of it, it's kind of hard to show. It's got this vent, and I can push and lock it in place,
Yeah.
and it'll push this whole seal back about 1/8 of an inch and let all the hot air out. So,
Oh my god.
guess what I don't do?
Don't close it.
I don't fog up. I never fog up. I just,
Yeah.
if I start to fog up, I just reach up there, push back there, wait a few seconds, and all the fog lifts. I don't need to
real.
go buy an X fog or anything like that. Now, some of these guys out here, you're going to sweat a little bit more than me because I don't run. I combat saunter like a boss. I'm in the
Combat
back-
saunter. Oh
Yeah.
shit. Okay, that's the first time I've heard that term.
I don't even combat mosey. That's too fast. I saunter. Um, but yeah,
That's
it's funny.
awesome.
Mark, you had him on a few weeks back. Mark the Airsoft Primate and I go out and play all the time together. And it's always funny. He's like, man, I love it when you play. I'm like, why? He's like, because I don't feel like I got to keep up with the young kids. I just hang out back here with you. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. Let them get the objective. We'll just roll up on it.
Oh, so check this out, bro.
Yep.
ESS is headquartered in Idaho.
Okay.
Is a wholly owned
Subsidiary.
Thank you. Yeah, and let me start over here. ESS, because I can read. Okay, I'm literally on my first beer. I'm on my first beer. I barely drank. ESS is a wholly owned subsidiary of Oakley. Okay, so it is. You're right.
Yeah. So it's just the off-brand, and I
Right.
got turned on to it by a Marine Corps friend of mine that is still in service, and that's what they got issued. They got
Nice.
issued ESS and not Oakley, and he got super pissed off because I got issued
shit.
Oakley when I was in.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and they don't make you turn in your iPro; you get to keep it. I don't have those. That was like damn near 20 years ago, but yeah, get it all out. Get it all out of there. You muted.
All right. Sorry about that.
Come on, man. We wanted to hear that nose candy.
Fucking
Hey,
breathe, bro.
no, don't worry. Sinuses have been horrible for everybody I've talked to, so
Oh,
don't
dude.
feel bad.
So we had my wife and I. We were we didn't have anything planned over the weekend. This past weekend. So going into Friday, Friday night we're going to her mom and dad's,
Yeah,
and for St. Patty's Day or whatever, and then we were going to, and then we had nothing else Saturday and Sunday. Well, one of my sons that's on the channel, Coltrane, him and his wife and kids, they wanted to hang out like either Saturday or Sunday. So we thought we were going to get together Saturday night because I talked to him on the phone. And I'm like, yeah, let's plan something because I don't want to sit around all weekend and do nothing, whatever. And I want to get together, whatever. So we planned like Sunday morning. They came up with this idea. They wanted to go hiking Sunday morning at like 8 in the morning. Let's fucking it got down to like 30 degrees, 28 degrees or something. Okay, that night.
oh, fuck
Saturday
that.
night. Yeah.
Nope. I'm out right there.
I'm
Yep.
out, bro. Fuck
I'm
that
out.
shit. Okay. So my lungs will be burning in like 5 minutes, breathing that
Yeah.
cold air. So what I said I did not want to do, we ended up doing. My wife and I, Friday night, there were a couple other people over at her parents', and one of the girls that was over there was sick. And so we did not feel great Saturday. So we literally, I binged watched a whole season of this one show that I was watching. And it just laid around. I worked on some videos, cleaned up my office, just piddly shit around the house. And it was rainy, nasty out. And then Sunday, we didn't go hiking because fuck that cold. And it never really got warm on Sunday. It was sunny in the afternoon, but it never got warm. So I went out to the shed. I was going to get some tools together and do some things. And I spent like 10 minutes out there. I was like, fucking cold, bro. My hands were cramping up. It was too cold. I was like, I'm fucking out. So we just kind of laid around. My wife still has kind of a cough and shit. And so anyway, so I've been blowing my nose like quite a bit since like Saturday night. 'Cause we're laying in bed and we're watching a show and my wife's like laying over on her side. Well, she fell asleep. Well, then she starts coughing in her sleep. Well, she's aimed right at my face.
No, that's
I'm
that's
like,
just your wife wanting you to enjoy in her misery, bro. Come on.
of course.
For better or for worse, and you're gonna get everything I got.
God. I mean, I've done it, when I'm falling asleep or I'm passed out and she's, she'll wake me up like, can you turn that way, please? You keep, coughing on me. Like, oh shit. Okay. But anyway, so yeah,
No,
I'm
it's
good now. I'm
it
good.
all goes back to that like that Ron White joke. He's talking about like his brothers and cousins and everybody. They like to go hunting.
Oh
And
yeah.
he's like, I don't. He's like, I'll fish, but I won't hunt. He's like, it's not because, it's. I think it's less holy to kill an animal with my own bare hands or anything like that. It's just to hunt. You got to get up really fucking early. It's really fucking cold, and I don't want to fucking go.
No shit, dude. Now I like hunting like small game.
Yeah.
Rabbits, squirrels, shit like that, birds if you want to do. That's like you don't have to get up early. You don't have to sit in a fucking tree stand. You don't have to creep around like you're a fucking sniper in the military.
I enjoy bow hunting. I enjoy stalking with the bow, but I have to
Okay.
do it super late in the season when all the idiots are gone.
Right.
I haven't gone for a few years. I've been super busy, but with I started Kinetic Impact.
Right.
I'm working on Elite Laser Tag. Working for them. When they got
So go over go over your background real quick because when I had you on last time, it was with Matt from Black Wolf Airsoft or Black Wolf Videos.
He was super
And,
excited. He was super excited.
Yeah,
to be
I
on the
mean, it
show.
was kind of back and forth. So let's just give a background, like introduce yourself, give a background, how, what you've been doing, how you got in Airsoft, and then what you got going on with all these different events and your company.
Yeah. So first and foremost, long story short, adopted kid, went in the Marines. They squared me up, got me right.
Ooh,
Got
fucking
out.
raw.
Yeah, damn right. I was a shithead going in. I was less of a shithead getting out.
Mhm.
still somewhat of a shithead, and then the powers that be, whatever deity you decide to cling to, he knocked me right, and I've been flying straight since, so that's been great. But
Good.
um, yeah, as far as airsoft goes, well, I guess if I'm going to go back, I need to start with laser tag. So got out of the military, took about half of a college, half of one set, or what would you call it? One period of one class, and got up and walked out because it's like, all right, I learned this stuff in high school. I
Uh-huh.
I don't have the time, tolerance, or patience to sit here and learn it all again, because
Bro.
that's what it was, and it was a required course. And I'm like sitting
Yep.
here, I'm like, I don't care if the military is paying for this or not. I don't want to sit through this.
You got to get that piece of paper, Matt.
No, no.
It's so fucking dumb.
I have relatives in my family, and they're not going to see this, so I can make fun of her. Haha, my sister. Um, she has 2 or 3 degrees, and she's not doing anything with it. She's
No.
a manager at a call center, and she's
Yep.
drowning in student debt. And I've been to half of one period of a class. I got up literally 30 minutes into the 1 hour class and walked out, and I never
Yeah.
went back. And and I have a house, I have 2 cars, I have more than I probably deserve. Um, but it's just because what we need now is we don't need more literary people. We need more hard workers, people
Yeah.
that know how to pick up a shovel, people that
Hands
look
on.
at yeah, and not just people that know how to work, but people that want to work. That's the big thing, right? Anyway, I digress. Went into security for a while. Turned out that didn't work out for me. Fell ass backwards into building laser tag equipment, and because there is no training school to learn how to make this stuff. You could learn bits and pieces here and there, but there's no like, this is how you work on laser tag equipment.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I played laser tag years and years ago when the kids were little, but I would have never thought like, what? How do you build this shit? Or I don't know.
No, it's literally me and one other guy, and we've got it down to such a point that we didn't need to hire a third guy last year. Got real close. I thought we were going to have to. We got hammered last year, man. Oof.
Yeah.
This year,
So you're talking like you guys build the stuff and then sell it.
so there's actually a whole sales team that sells the stuff, and then they
Okay.
send us the work order, and then we build it for the company,
Oh, okay.
and then the company
Nice.
pays us.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So we're subcontracted through subcontractors.
Subcontractors.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So I
Oh,
work from
that's a
home.
good setup.
Yeah, I'm actually in my office right now.
So you know how to do like circuit boards and soldering and
A little bit.
wiring and okay.
I know in the world of laser tag, I know what I'm doing. But if I
Right.
had to actually make a motherboard, I might be a little lost for a while. I might have to do a little research.
Yeah, but I mean, the basics of like what you're putting together. So is that what you
Yeah,
do?
I have an
Like
idea.
pretty much put everything, all the hardware together?
Yeah. So like I was showing you when
Okay.
we were trying to figure out sound earlier.
Yeah.
This is the one we make for Elite Laser Tag equipment. I'll
Yep.
have to back up so I can show you here.
Yeah, go ahead. So that's a laser tag gun.
Correct. It's a laser tag toy. It is not a gun.
Okay. So what is
Yeah,
that
you hear that,
LED
custom?
screen on the other side or the read?
It's a readout display. It kind of gives you your status and indicators. Where did I put my key? There it is. Just like always when you're working in the shop, anytime you need a tool, it's nowhere where you need it, right?
Those things. What kind of batteries do laser guns work on, or laser tag toys work on?
These work on advanced lithium ion.
Okay.
So you can hear it. I think you can hear it. Can you hear that? It's coming through?
No, I didn't. No.
All right, it might be directional. Let me see.
No, nothing.
Okay, yeah. it's
What
probably
is it doing?
canceling out.
Beeping?
No, it's making a gunshot sound, and then at the end of the gunshot sound, you can hear the round hit the ground.
Get out.
Yeah, so it's boom, ding, ding. Let me try.
You can hear the brass hit the ground. Oh, that's cool. So that's built into it. Okay.
Yeah, that's just the sound effects, and then that's what you were trying to stare at earlier. So just the readout, it gives you health. Trying to do it so. Yeah.
Okay.
I've got-
Scoring. Yep.
Yep, scoring and health, and then this all goes back to a computer. and I can. It doesn't need the computer to work. The computer just it gives me the option to be able to broadcast a scoreboard, like on a through onto a TV or through projector or something like that. I have my own set of equipment. It was part of my deal with with Elite Laser Tag to work for them. I said, I'll do this, but I want my own equipment that I own that I
Yeah.
can run, and so I get the pleasure of doing like a Dallas Fan Expo, which is basically Dallas Comic Con. It's the biggest comic convention in Dallas, and I get to go every year for free. Set up that there.
What?
I pay a couple of teenagers to run the booth for me, and I get to just tool around the comic expo.
Oh
Check
my
on it every
God.
time. Check on it every hour or so.
Yeah.
Make sure it
Just
hasn't
make
burned
your
to the
round,
ground.
go back
Yeah,
and check on it, and then, dude, that's cool as hell.
yeah. I've been doing it for like 6, 7 years now, and I missed 1 year because I was sick. I caught the flu, not COVID, which is really weird. I had
Yeah.
all the symptoms, but I tested negative for COVID, so I legitimately had the flu, and I just couldn't go 1 year. And
Yeah.
the next year, I got an email from Van Expo asking me to come back because so many people said they were upset that they got rid of the laser tag, and they're like, we didn't get rid of it. He just couldn't make it.
Oh, so you guys go and set up a booth and do the whole
Yeah, they give us a
thing
whole
for the weekend.
they give us a whole meeting room, and we set it up, and we run little 5 minute games all weekend long.
Oh, that's fucking awesome, dude.
So, and all my bunkers are inflatable, and it's funny because, so I started working for that company, and the owner was a little suspect, but I was like, fuck it. I kind of burned all of my security bridges. This is all I've got, right? I did
Yeah.
too. I burned that sucker to the ground. I burned it all the way down under the water. I don't want nothing to do with security ever again. I even had a couple of the companies that I had worked for as a site supervisor because I worked for about 5 or 6. I worked for Essilor at one point. We contracted through them, and that's the glass. Any glasses you wear in probably North America, they have made the lenses for.
Oh, okay.
So I worked as their head of security for a while. I was head of security for Xerox for a while.
Nice.
Through contracted through the company I was with.
Right.
And they both at one point or another, shortly after I quit, they heard I quit and they called me trying to give me a job directly through them and not through the security firm. And I'm like, no.
Okay.
I'm like, no, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
I gained. So I got out of the Marines at 165. By the time I quit security, I was damn near 230.
Yeah.
I mean, it just. Who knew? Sitting on your ass and eating chips all day, staring at a monitor, you were gonna gain weight, right? Who fucking knew?
Yeah.
So probably about 6, 7 months before I quit, I started. I was playing a lot of D&D and stuff, and one of the guys in my D&D group, Brian Garcia, shout out Berserker. I don't know if he'll ever be on the podcast because he's always busy being like an EMT and saving lives.
Oh shit.
He's like, oh, I want to go play. I play Airsoft all the time, and none of you guys come with me. And I felt bad. I'm like, you know what? I need to be more active anyway. I said, do you have an extra gun? Let's go. Cool. And there's a picture floating around there somewhere. I think it's actually on our website of the very first time I went out. I took my camping chair with me, and I fell asleep. And he gave me a Thompson to use, and I'm sitting there, fell asleep, hugging the Thompson, leaning back in the chair, passed out. Yeah. And
what website?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Mark. He's the one who found it.
You suck.
He's like, hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not the tech guy. And we'll get to that later. But literally, Mark was setting up the K.I.A. website. He's like, I need pictures. And I'm like, all right, cool. I just grabbed this folder of pictures on a Google Drive, and I shared it to him and said, this is everything I got. And he found it. And I'm like, and I don't know where those pictures, they have disappeared off the drive. I have no idea where Mark put them.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's holding them for ransom if I ever try to run for a political office. But
real?
yeah, I wouldn't put it past Mark. But anyway, so after that, I was just hooked on Airsoft, and
Yeah. Now, when you went the first time with this friend, was what was it, like a open play type of thing,
Yeah.
or was it a big event?
just an open play day.
Okay.
Just an open play. Just every
Casual, just
yep.
Okay.
Super casual, yada yada yada, and then
What did you wear your first game? Did you go like camis and all that kind of shit, or just like
nope?
jeans,
I did.
t-shirt?
I did wear my combat boots because I still had them and I still fit into them. All my camis, I was too fucking fat Not a chance. But I did have an oversized Marine Corps sweatshirt, so I wore that because it was cold out, and I wore my security pants because they were black tactical pants.
Gotcha.
So that's what I wore, and then of course a Marine Corps hat because why the fuck not, right? And, I have since evolved. Now I've got like some M81s and all that stuff, and
Right.
desert and desert camouflage or desert digital camo, forest digital camo, all that stuff. I bit the apple and now I've eaten the core. Like I'm already in.
Dude, how many camos are there?
I don't
It's
even want to
crazy.
know. Well,
It's crazy.
It's dumb. So, and we're this is going to circle back around. We're going to come back around. I'm going to get through this, but we're going to circle back to camo. I got a story for you on that. But
Awesome.
So we start going out. We're going out every like 2-3 weeks, and then he's running a 249 saw.
Nice.
I'm running the Thompson. The motor cage on the Thompson, because it's made of shit pot metal, breaks. Thompson's down. And Brian's like, well, I wanted to buy a sniper rifle anyway. And we just happened to be at a swap meet that day. So he goes and buys a sniper rifle for somebody. And then he hands me his saw. And he says, weren't you issued a saw in the Marines? And I said, yeah, that was what I was issued. Well, here you go. And to this day, I still use it. That's this saw.
Oh, shit. Nice.
So the only part of this saw that is still his gun is the main body. And
is that the cyber gun?
No.
The light? Okay.
This is a full weight A&K.
Oh, shit.
I refuse to use the lightweights for several reasons.
You fucker.
I enjoy the weight.
Yeah.
I think
it's a great workout.
Well, it's a good workout, and I think it humbles me a little bit. That and the lightweights use a Type 2 motor, and those tend to melt down if you're playing a saw gunner like you're supposed to be playing a saw gunner. And here's a newsflash for all you kids buying a saw gun. Your job is not to kill people. Your job is to herd the sheep.
Yeah, exactly.
Herd the sheep and keep their heads down so your friends can go kill the people.
You should do a video on that. You guys, Matt, whatever, do because he produces videos.
Yeah,
do a instructional video on how to lay down covering fire because nobody fucking knows how to do it.
We actually have a slate of videos that we want to do, and that's in it.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, like yes. we've already thought about that several times because I was playing with a local team. The shout out to the Goon Squad. We were playing with the local team, nice. And none of my guys. I was with Vanguard Airsoft at the time, and none of those guys were out there playing. And I was trying to get my legs under me because we had a holiday event coming up, and I wanted to be in better shape. So I'm like, all right. I looked at these guys, and they're all like their early 20s. I'm almost 40. They're in their early 20s. I looked right at them. I said, I am wearing twice the weight that I would normally wear to a mil sim. I said, I want you guys to go full bore all day and yell at me if I can't keep up.
Yeah.
And they're like, really? I said, really? And like, well, what if you? I said, no. Do not be nice about it. I need this. And they're like, okay, cool.
Like, help me. Try to get and
they know me well enough to know that I might get snippy, but I'm not going to snap,
Right, sure.
And so right out the gate we take off, and they take off, and I take off with them, and I keep up with them, all that gear, keep up with these young guns that are running like light, like they're like magazines in their pockets, light, no rig, nothing.
Shit.
And my old fat ass keeps up, and we stop, and all of a sudden I hand them the saw, and I'm like. They're like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I just forgot to breathe. Give me a second. Like straight up, I just took off and I forgot to breathe while I was running.
Oh my God.
But no, I enjoy the weight. And the lightweights tend to melt down because I use a Type 2 motor. They're not really meant for massive suppressive fire. The old Type 1 motors are bigger, bulkier. They're all steel. They're meant to just hammer down all day. Yeah, they are.
That's interesting. Okay.
I have another friend of mine that's also a saw gunner, and he bought a lightweight because it was cheap, right? And we ended up gutting it and putting a Type 1 motor in it because the Type 2 motor, the first milsim we went to, it melted down.
Oh my God!
Because
I've gotten the only 249 that I've tried are the Cyberguns featherweights that Evic was putting in their mystery boxes, their BOAs.
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of them.
Yeah, they were trying to get rid of them. They had a shit ton because. We were doing on our channel. We would order 4 BOAs at a time. There's 4 of us on our channel. So if we all 4 got them, which we all, a lot of times we all 4 got the BOA, because they sell out really quick. There was, a lot of people that were having a
Yeah.
hard time getting them. Well, we would get them, 3 or 4 of us for sure. And I don't know, man, I think for like 2 or 3, maybe 3 months, one of us, at least one, would get one every single month.
Yeah.
We had 6 or 7 at one point, all of the same one. But anyway, that was the only one I tried, was that featherweight. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm telling you right now, like if you ever get a chance to try, and if you come to any of our events, or like maybe we expand, K.I.A. eventually spans the East Coast, and I make you come out. Like we just roll a white van outside your place, black bag in, make you come.
That would be fucking awesome. If I ever got kidnapped, I would be like the best prisoner, because I'd be like, "What's up?"
This is cool. Like,
Until they start punching me in the face.
This is super cool. Can I put this on my live stream? Hold on. Can you
Right?
put that video? No. Don't worry about the ransom. You'll get it. I need content. But in all severity, like we learned that about the lightweight. I'm glad I didn't buy it and he bought it.
Gotcha.
But at the same time, I'm not glad he bought it because his gun melted down. But
Right.
What we were able to do is a lot of people scrap the guns, the old ones, so you can very easily find.
Okay.
And you don't need to go too far, right? Most swap meets have them. Somebody is parting out a 249, and they have the old, large, gray, silver gearbox, which ironically fits in the featherweight. Rip out that Type 2 motor. You can slam that Type 1 motor inside of it.
Really?
Yeah. And so he's got a Type 1 motor in a plastic body.
Oh, okay. So
He
you
says,
got the better gearbox, but a lighter gun. That's
yeah.
good.
He said he doesn't trust it though because he feels like he's going to break it.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't fall on it.
Yeah. That's what I said too. Because I do some pretty wacky and shady shit. Like, oh look, a ravine. Let's go down this. No. Oh, I'm already down the ravine, guys. You guys coming? No. I'm already pushed 50 feet past the ravine. Are you guys gonna? No. I'm not coming back up. Fine.
Dude, someone that's not been to a milsim, or just not been in the woods, right? Like
Yeah.
different terrain like that, or that type of terrain, they don't understand. It's different. Like if you're playing in the desert, like California terrain is way different than Midwest and East Coast, woodland type of setup. You've got roots, you've got leaves on the ground that you can't see the rocks and roots. People don't realize when you're running through that all day. And typically the younger guys, they won't have a problem with balance in the first hour or so, even if they have all this gear on, because they're fresh. Their calves and all those muscles that control your foot movement and balance and everything, right? You pick up your toe when you run. After about 2 hours of moving from this cover to this cover and scurrying here and there, right? Sprinting, you get your legs get tired from all that shit.
Fucking mosquitoes
And then
trying to get on the stream. What the fuck? Fuck off.
And people start falling, man. I'm sure you've seen it on the field.
Yeah.
They start tripping over like nothing almost,
So having run a few airsoft events now, it's funny to watch the young kids, right, just take off at the beginning, even though you tell them time and time again that a milsim is a marathon. It's
not a sprint.
Pace yourself, and they don't, and they just burn out. By lunchtime, they are smoked. They are taking a nap at fob, and meanwhile, the older guys are just chuckling as they're reloading, going out.
It's that scene in Heartbreak Ridge where Clint Eastwood is punishing those dudes. He's taking them on a run out in the desert, right? They're running at 29 stumps out there and 29 palms. And he's like, they take off. They just bolt. And he meets them like halfway. He runs right past them. He's jogging. And they're all like trying to catch their breath and fucking overheating and he just keeps on going.
No, it's you got to pace yourself. But man, we rabbit trail great. Shit.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Where were we?
So, so you were talking about the saw and
got the saw. And since I've gotten that saw, I've wrenched on it. It was a full length saw at the time. We ripped out the full length stock. We put a Ranger stock on it because that's way better.
Hmm.
rear wired it so that the Ranger stock actually means something, and I can put a crane battery in the back, or a nunchuck battery in the back. Ripped off the front, put a railing on it. Gave it
I don't know. I'm not sure what a Ranger stock is, actually.
a Ranger stock. Is this guy? Oh, hey, hey! What are you fucking doing, Sling? So yeah, see now I'm
Oh,
hitting all
look
the
at
cables.
that.
So this is a Ranger stock.
So it's like a regular M4
Yeah,
stock
it's a
almost.
Ranger M4 stock, but they call it a Ranger stock because it has to have the special plate here.
Oh,
You can't.
that
It's really hard to
attaches to
see.
the
Yeah. See, there's a special.
249.
Yeah, you can see it kind of there. There's a special plate that attaches to
Yeah.
the 249. So we gave it the Ranger stock. Oh,
Now,
so
does that
yeah,
help with just with
it's comfort.
adjustment? Because it's
No,
adjustment
it's a
or
100%.
adjustable.
It's 100% comfort.
Okay. Yeah.
That's all it is because I have trained everybody that I play with on a consistent basis, and
Yeah.
every milsim that I've gone to, they allow this rule. So the gunner can die, but they can always pick up the gun. So I die, and that's why it's only
Oh.
on a 2 point. I die, I take the sling off myself, and I just hold the gun out. Somebody snags it up, and the only gun on the field that can go full auto is still in the fight.
Oh shit.
And that's also why everybody in my squad runs M4s, because if the drum goes empty, they all know how to take the drum off and feed M4s in, or feed M4 mags into it,
Right.
because it can also take M4 mags.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got that side port. Cool.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Where normally you'd put a belt in the real one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Oh, that's
that's
cool, man.
so yeah, it's that's everybody that I played with on a consistent basis. I've trained that way, and it's funny because when I was playing with Vanguard, I trained those guys like that,
Right.
and I got the other saw gunner trained up to gun like I do, and
Okay.
it was funny because we got sent on so many spearhead missions. It's ridiculous because they know that we'd go out there and we're not going to stop until the last gunfighter's down, and that saw is going to be the last gun
Right.
to go down.
Yeah, you just keep passing it off.
So there was one time, this was at Southern Front at D14. Fluffy is the other saw gunner. Shout out if
Gotcha.
you're watching this, because I'm sure he will. What up, Fluff? Uh, so we were out shooting and we both died, and two of our other squad members had grabbed our saws, and we had their M4s, and they of course have the CQB M4, which is real small, real light, and we're
Right.
laughing back to our fob because these things are so light. We have full weights, so they're all heavy. And we get back to fob, and we get our reserve magazine because we're not allowed. This is per AMS. I talked to Bo, he's the owner, and this is what he said. Per rules, this is allowed. So the gun is still out there, right? And we're only allowed 3,000 rounds per person per saw gunner.
Okay.
My box mag is out there. If I have a spare box mag back at fob, I can grab that, and that's part of my 3,000.
Mm.
So when I get back out to the field, I can swap out the boxes.
Gotcha.
So we go back. We're getting our spare boxes. Our fob just happens to be close to our campsite. We go to the campsite, decide we're going to have a nice sandwich, have some chips, have a drink, sit down, relax. About 40 minutes later, we go back, find our teammates who are still fighting,
Oh shit.
and traded back the saw. They're like, we're never doing that again. These things are so heavy.
Oh, that's
We're
funny.
like, just welcome to our lives. Anyway, uh, so got completely into that through Airsoft. And it had an interesting side effect that I wasn't aware of. So apparently, I had a lot of pent up rage and anger, and literally what
Duh.
a therapist would probably
You were in
call
the you were in the
hyperaggression.
core.
Yeah, probably. Well, I think to the nth degree because I think I have a touch of small man syndrome too. I mean,
Gotcha.
I'm only like 5'4". I'm a short dude.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I am stocky. Don't come at me,
Yeah.
bro. But
Yeah. Now let me ask you something. So, did you grow up when you were in like elementary school, middle school, high school? Were you were short?
yes, I'm short
Okay.
and skinny.
You were short and skinny, your whole life, and then you never grew past. Like, what age did you reach like 5'4"?
When did I peak?
Yeah. When did you peak?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
ninth grade, eighth grade, sixth grade. So you were you always kind of like the smaller kid in your class, like in school?
For the most part, yeah.
Did you get picked on a lot?
No, I learned
Because
really
I'm
early to
trying to
make
figure
friends.
out. I'm really trying to figure out where, uh, the small, the short guy syndrome, short man syndrome thing,
Well, I hung
comes
out
from.
with I hung out with most of the people that were like 2, 3 times my size. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I was that little kid that was like the hype guy for the big kids that were picking on people.
Yeah.
Uh, so I don't know. I don't know where it came from. I know it did happen, and even my wife has said, like, noticeably that since I started playing airsoft, like that has not been such an issue. So I think it kind of gave me an
Good.
outlet, and I honestly do think it. And like, I tend to these days when I see something that's like really pissing me off, I tend
Yeah.
to like take a step back now. And I don't know if that's because I'm getting older and more mature, or if I have that outlet, or what it is.
Sure.
But I'd
Probably a
like to say that
combination.
attribute. Yeah, I'd like to say that attributed to it.
Yeah. For sure, dude. Well,
So
the thing is, when you, for somebody, so you put yourself in that situation. So, from what I've experienced and what the people I've talked with airsoft and stuff, the more you play, the more times you put yourself in situations where you're going to encounter some type of adversity or whatever. So you're forcing yourself into that in that situation that most people in daily life don't really get, right? Because once you get out of high school or college or whatever, or the military, what kind of physical, uh, what kind of physical test do we put ourselves through? Some people,
yeah.
a lot of people will go to the gym, but there's no controversy there. There's nobody coming up and getting in your face.
Well, not
You're,
unless you pay them a lot of money. I
yeah,
mean,
that's true.
isn't that what the trainer's job is for?
That's the
Like,
trainer's job.
yeah,
But I mean, it's majority of people don't have some type of adversity they have
yeah.
to
You're not
face. Now
dealing.
they'll say,
You're
"Oh,
not doing anything
I get."
that's triggering your fight or flight.
Right, exactly. They'll you do have stress from finding new jobs and things like that or college. I get it, but as far as like what airsoft, what you guys do on the field, especially these, well, actually any of it, mil sim or indoor play, because that's they're both very competitive. You're putting yourself in that position where you're facing some type of adversity, whether it's facing like or encountering these different situations where you got to figure shit out and you fail and you're like fuck,
Yeah.
or you encounter a cheater that won't call his hits, or or you get the rager. Okay, like there's all these things that
Was me for a long
that
time.
used to be you.
Oh, I've broken my sets of deuce gear. I've got like 2 or 3 that I still need to probably just like throw out and give up on because
Oh
I got
shit.
mad. I'd start ripping shit off. Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't do that anymore. I mean,
No, it's not worth it.
it's a
It's it's
process,
it's
right?
it's not worth it. And like as far as like cheaters and stuff like that, like there's always going to be people that don't call it. It's the nature of the sport, unfortunately. And
Hmm.
the only way to solve that, in my opinion, is if everybody plays the way they want it to be playing. I'm not going to
Yeah.
call your like if I shoot you and I think I hit you and you're not going to call it. I'm just going to assume I missed or the BB
I,
dropped.
I gotta say, man, in my experience with talking with all these different people, I really believe, I truly believe that those people that don't call that like purposely don't call their hits, right? I think they will eventually get to that point. If they stick
Yeah,
with airsoft, they will become the person like you are and the person like most people I've talked with, and they'll look back and go, I used to be that guy. In fact, I'll bet there's a lot of people I've talked with on here that used to be like that. Maybe when they first started, they were, not all the time, but maybe moments or certain matches or games, and then they look back and go, I don't want to be that person.
yeah,
Whatever
no,
changes,
it
and they
it,
go,
it makes the
okay,
game
this is
worse.
dumb.
Well, the best thing I could hear is actually it was at our last event, which we were Vanguard, not K.I.A. at the time, but it was at Kingmaker, and I walked one by a guy, and he was just like shaking his head. I was like, "What's wrong?" Because I was being an admin for the day. Kid over there wasn't calling it. He must have needed that win a lot more than I do. And I'm like, you know what? That's a good way to look at it, honestly.
It really is.
Maybe he is shrugging it because he really needs this.
Uh huh.
And who am I to take that from him? I'm just going to keep pelting him with BBs. And you know what? Yeah, you hit me once, I hit you 50 times. You got 50 welts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my 249 saw, which is my primary. Oh, it's on the ground now. My primary, it uses a sniper spring. It has a
What?
50-foot med. Yes.
What does it shoot?
Roughly about 450 to 475.
With
If I
twos.
I use 2.5s in it because 2.8s are expensive.
So with 2.5s, it'll
About
shoot 450.
450 to 475. With
Ooh,
if I keep the sniper spring in
bro.
it. If I keep the sniper spring in it. For AMS, obviously I can't. I have to bring it down to 400. I have a different spring for
I was gonna
AMS.
say, man, that's fucking heavy.
Yeah, but like BB wars and stuff like that, if people don't want to call it, like I said, if I'm hitting them, if I'm hitting them and they're shrugging my saw, they must really need this
Oh,
win.
right.
you know,
For real.
so
Yeah.
and I did not, for the record, I did not make the saw for that purpose. I made it because I wanted to see what I could do.
Yeah.
I didn't make it because I want to make cheaters pay. I'm
Well, it
not
doesn't
out there to
matter
hunt
as long as
cheaters.
it's within the guidelines and the you know
Yeah, I'm always trying. I always try to be careful these days because people will contort everything, you know. But anyway,
right. Yeah. All right.
so started playing airsoft. Got into the laser tag industry. My daughter, my oldest daughter, who's now out in the house and moved out and really doesn't play anymore, was playing airsoft with me for a while. And
Okay.
this is her gun, which was the first gun that I actually bought and wasn't gifted to me.
Yeah.
This is the PXG 9.
Okay. Ooh, damn, that's nice. All
Yeah,
right,
it's
hold that up again, where you could see the whole thing. Oh, that looks awesome, dude.
it's just a plastic version of Classic Army's X9.
Okay.
So you know, it's got. This is the only thing I hate about it is this is the battery compartment.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So you can't really put a
I
really
mean, it's like
good
the
reliable one in
ARP9,
there.
you know, that kind of stock with the
Yeah,
similar
yeah.
style. It's fucking tiny as shit. What do you put in it? A 7.4 lipo
You have to. Well,
with
I
that little
only
tiny
use.
stick.
Yeah, I only use Titans,
Uh huh.
and Titan has a double nunchuck now. I didn't bring it upstairs with me, but it's that twice,
Yeah.
so it'll fit in there pretty good.
We actually have one. My son has one that's the 7.4 is a stick, but bro, it's so fucking thin.
Yeah,
It's
they've got
so
those
thin.
super thin ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
I prefer only to use Titan batteries. They're made here in the USA. I use that. We actually
That's
use
what
we
we
got
have. Yeah.
after my company got bought out by a new boss and my better boss. And I hope you watch this, Ed, because we love you. Um,
Shout out Ed.
Shout out Ed and Elite Laser Tag. Yeah, Ed and Dana. They actually run game trucks. So you know the video game trucks that roll up on like carnivals and festivals and shit like that.
No,
It's a
actually, so you're talking like a trailer where you can walk
yeah,
in and they
just
have
video
video
games.
games where kids can
Yeah,
go in there and sit down and play.
yeah, they make those.
I
That's what.
literally, I would have never known what you're talking about until this past Christmas time. One of the Fountain Inn, South Carolina, is like we live
Yeah,
right on the edge of Fountain Inn in Simpsonville. They had they shut the whole town, like Main Street downtown. They shut it down for like a week. Now it's a small town.
yeah,
They had foot traffic throughout there, but you couldn't drive through there. They had the Christmas tree like lighting thing, and they had this big ceremony. Well, they had one of those trailers, and we were walking by. I looked in there, and I could see these video game monitors and computers or gaming
yeah.
consoles or whatever set up, kids playing in there. I was like, whoa, what a cool fucking idea, man. Yeah, okay.
That is super super prevalent on the East Coast. They're actually out of, I believe, I think they're still in North Carolina. I can't remember if they moved or not.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
Shit, that
like
might have been the same
I should know
company.
that. Well, they don't do it themselves. They don't have their own trucks. They make the
Hmm.
trucks and sell them, and then people buy
Gotcha.
the trucks and then side hustle with them. And it's
Okay.
it's a pretty big thing.
Right.
But anyway, so yeah, I mean, they bought the company a while ago, and we actually I actually, as a the guy that makes the guns, have the leniency to find new parts, and I went out and talked to Titan Power, and they actually make, and we are actually the only laser tag company that has custom batteries from Titan Power, and
Get out.
yep, we're it. And these things last. We tested
So
it
you have an
roughly
airsoft
about
company Well,
making
an
laser tag
airsoft
batteries.
battery company.
Yeah. Well, no, that's not just they don't just make those. They make them for like
Okay.
military drones and all sorts of crazy shit, man.
Oh, right. Okay.
Titan Power's a huge, like a great company.
But you have, yeah, I'm not saying it right. You have a company that's well known in the airsoft community that makes the stuff for your laser tag stuff too.
here in the States, and that was my
Yeah,
big
that's
thing.
cool.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
the one feature I like about this, so this is the anniversary edition or whatever, like the
Okay.
special edition, and this is why is because it came stock with this.
Yeah, that thing looks awesome, man.
It came
That's what
stock,
makes it.
yeah, but it came stock with that. So you know those orange. Oh, of course. Now it's gonna fucking take the whole thing off, but it's in there. Tells you how often I take it off.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so
Yeah.
it just
So
screws right off.
yeah,
Nice. Okay.
yeah. It's not supposed to do that. That's not good. Oh boy. There it goes. Okay.
You can Loctite it.
You know, I think I just wore the Loctite off. I'm gonna have to fuck with that later now. But on the inside of this, the orange tip isn't supposed to come off. But
Yeah.
this mock suppressor actually encompasses the whole orange tip, which is about that long into the
Nice.
suppressor.
Mm-hmm.
So good job, good job.
Look at you.
Way to break
Breaking
on
your
that.
own shit on
Yeah.
the first podcast you're on here by yourself.
Yeah, can't take me
Jesus.
anywhere. So, so she started playing airsoft with me. You know, we do a few events. We do a couple BB wars. My company gets bought. When it gets bought, they have to sell the laser because the guy that owned it before also ran a laser tag arena, and I was also the manager there for the laser tag arena.
Right.
And that's prevalent going further into the story if you're taking notes. For those of you at home taking notes,
mental notes.
yeah. So he had to get rid of all the shipping containers that were inside the laser tag arena because he was using them for structure. So we got with D14, we got him a great rate, and I'm not going to give those numbers out, but just trust me, it was a smoking hot great rate to get these moved over to D14, and they are now
Gotcha.
those shipping containers are now what comprise of what's called the Citadel. It's its own building that replaced that other iconic building, which was the mosque.
Damn.
Because the mosque was just falling apart. It was literally just crumbling into nothing because it was made out of wood, and just after like 3-4 years, just falling apart.
Yeah.
So they replaced it all with shipping containers, and they were the ones that myself and my team at the time procured for them. And so as a gift, because I didn't ask for anything, I didn't get a commission off it, I got nothing off it. It was literally me working a deal to help out the field.
Right.
As a gift, he got me a classic Army Mark 18.
Nice.
Well, you say that, but I mean, look at so rusted and broken and busted. And that's
Jesus. You know how to take care of your guns, bro?
Not that one. That's
I'm teasing, man.
No, at first I started taking care of it, but I only take care of the internals anymore. It was just too much upkeep on the externals, and it doesn't affect the gun. The externals like that, and when people see you walking up with an old cruddy POS, they don't expect you to hit them at 350 feet. They don't expect it.
Like,
yeah.
Like, look at this old decrepit piece of shit. He's shooting.
Yeah.
Fall apart.
Yeah. Any minute now. They're just waiting for it. And then they get pegged from 350 feet, and I'm waving at them. They're like, shit. Yeah, that's right. It just goes to show you, kids, it only matters what's on the inside. That's what counts.
For real now. Well, shit, that's old school, man. Like, remember, with old muscle cars, right?
Yeah.
You'd have, dude, there were so many guys that had like 68 Novas. The cars that weren't actual muscle cars that people were making into muscle cars because they swapped the engine out or they bored it out, right? They did an overhaul on it back in the day, like in the 80s. And bro, my brother-in-law had a 77 Grand Prix. This thing was fucking beautiful. Beautiful body. Okay, but he ripped the engine out, him and his cousin. I actually helped him. I was like 16, 1986, okay? Now, this is a classic 80s scene right here. We're in a dirty garage, okay, with an engine puller, okay, an engine crane out here.
Yeah.
I'm 16. my brother-in-law and his cousin are in there. We got the car, pretty much pulled apart with the, getting ready. Got the hood off, uh, getting ready to pull this engine out. We've got a, a tiny little boom box sitting in the corner. We've got a cooler full of beer, okay, Coors or I can't remember what we were drinking back then. uh, one of these cheap Schaefer's or
Hey,
some
hey,
shit, okay.
don't lie. You were drinking PBR. Don't lie.
It might have been PBR. Okay. We got 80s rock music playing. All
Yeah.
right.
Oh yeah.
Just
So
blasting.
you're playing 80s rock music, working on it. You're drinking PBR. Don't fucking
We're
lie to
drinking
me.
PBR, 80s rock music. It's a beautiful day out. Got the garage door open. Got the music blasting. We got, this, we're pulling this engine out. We're all kind of, working
Yeah.
on it, whatever, getting it out. I mean, it's a great memory, great memory. But anyway, when he got that, so they used the same engine. They bored it out. Okay. So they put new, pistons in it. Um, just the whole,
Yeah.
they made this thing. I think they upped it like I can't remember 100 or 200 horsepower. This thing when he was done, and these things had positive traction. Real. A lot of these cars back then were rear wheel drive. Okay, front wheel drive didn't come out until like in the 80s, I think. And so this thing was beautiful. Real long front hood, kind of like the old Monte Carlos. So when he gets it done, once we get done with this, we took it for a test drive, blasting the 80s music, okay, Van Halen going, all right, and we get on the freeway, and he lays on this thing, and it was just like being in a rocket ship. I mean, for a 16-year-old, never been in a car this fast, right?
Yeah.
Um, was just awesome, awesome. But anyway, when you pull up to a red light and somebody pulls up next to you, this thing's smooth, right? It looks cool, it looks nice, but it does not look like it has the power that it has. So what's inside, like what's under the hood, can really trip people out when when you go off the line. Because a lot of people would pull up to the line back in the 80s and you rev your engine like, take off and kind of race a little bit. But yeah, same thing.
Yeah. It matters what's under the hood. So
absolutely.
The young men out there, that applies to life too. Yes, this is your dad life lesson for the day. Coming in a little late tonight, but we're gonna get there. Anyway,
Right.
yeah, that does not mean go shirting people. That's not what we meant.
What is that?
Or you just go and whip off somebody's shirt like in a hockey fight. I want to
Oh,
see what's
gotcha.
under the hood. No, don't be doing that. Anyway, so yeah, we ended up doing that, and then new owner bought the company. All the while, I'm playing more and more Airsoft. We started an Airsoft team. My old partner and I started an Airsoft company called Vanguard Incorporated, or Vanguard Airsoft Events, which was supposed to sponsor our team, Vanguard Incorporated, because we didn't know that there's such a thing as market confusion apparently at the time. Yeah. And so we ran a couple of events, and this is kind of what, like, I'm not going to go into all that too much because we covered a lot of that in the last time I was on your podcast. If people really want to know, they can go back to
Yeah, that's fine.
Black Wolf's videos, and I talked about that. But
Sure.
those guys have been super, super instrumental into what I'm doing now. Matt, Black Wolf Videos is actually my business partner. He purchased the shares from the half of the business from my old partner who didn't want to be a part of it anymore.
Yeah.
Which worked out great for me because, like, I joked with Matt all the time. We're just different trains. We're on the same track. We're just, we're trains going the same direction on different tracks. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
We're looking to get to the same destination. We're just getting there different ways. And then
Right.
you got that outlier that is Mark. He's helping me now too. He did.
Yeah, he told me that. Yeah.
Yeah, he did our website. He's been doing,
Mark.
the Airsoft Prime Out. He's been doing all that stuff, man. So, and then the last event, we actually got hooked up with the One Tribe Foundation. And I got talking to these guys. They used to be 22 Kill, and 22 Kill, like, you can go look it up and all that stuff. I don't know the exact history. I'm a horrible historian. What I can tell you is that they are an organization that is helping vets deal with their PS post traumatic stress,
Okay,
and
so
they're
it's
help.
the name
And
is reference to the suicide thing.
yes,
Right.
that's how they
Okay.
started it. But they did a rebrand because apparently the word "kill" doesn't test well. Who knew? Uh,
Dude,
yeah,
speaking of that, and we'll get right back to what you're saying, but there's been two people now that have said when they said one of their friends killed themselves, instead of saying that, or instead of saying suicide, they said unalived themselves. And I was
that's
like, what?
dumb. That's
What is
dumb.
unalive?
I don't know.
Like,
Stop making
what
up
the?
words.
And they were like, oh, I guess it doesn't get picked up by the thing. I'm like, I don't give a fuck on this podcast, bro. I don't care. They can algorithm the fuck out of this thing. I don't care. Just say the right words so I don't have to ask what the fuck that means.
Oh,
Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was told to say this by my buddy Doc. He's one of the goons.
Yeah.
In the world of drip or drown, I am a desert.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I don't do drip. It either works or it doesn't. I don't care how ugly it looks. I don't know how cool you think I am. But that's the
I
fuddy duddy gun over here. It
I'm
works.
exactly the same way. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck. I want functionality over looks. Okay, I don't give a fuck about looks. My wife hates that when she wants to decorate, and I'm like, that's not functional there. Okay, no, I'm putting it here.
Yeah, that's my wife's the same way. Like she'll put a box. And I'm like, this is a nice little funnel you made here. Can we not put this here? Why? Because when I'm walking by here, I don't want to bump into it.
No shit.
But it looks good.
Uh
Yeah. Well, I know who makes dinner, so I guess you win. But you know,
huh.
keep in mind when I knock this over,
Right.
you were warned. Uh, um, but
So
yeah,
22 kill. Is that what it is?
22 kill, and they use. Um, they firmly believe that there's not one solution to the problem. Right? Everybody has their own way of dealing with it. So they do like a
Of
lot of
course.
motorcycle rides. They do a
Mm.
lot of they call them wind therapies and stuff like that. If you could put up in your somewhere the link that I sent you, it's the very first video I sent you.
Yeah.
On the chat.
Oh.
Yeah, that we actually, because we donated to the One Tribe Foundation, we're able to go down and talk to them, and they walked us around the office and talked to us a little bit, and
Oh, one
that's a
time. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's a better way to explain it. Is you guys watching that video? Matt very lovingly put that video together. It's done very well.
Well,
Um,
yeah. Let me definitely these links I will put in the video description for sure.
yeah, so I've got that, and then that leads into just going down the checklist of things that Matt's making me talk about.
No, this is great, dude. I mean, it's what this is for.
So we ran Vanguard for a while. We did 3 events with it. We decided to rebrand because we didn't like some of the behaviors of some of the team members on the associated team with Vanguard. So we
Yeah.
decided we needed to do a full rebrand, and we did it while
Gotcha.
we were still promoting an event. So there is a little bit
Mm.
of confusion out there.
Right.
Yeah, but the one we're running right now is we're now Kinetic Impact Airsoft, or abbreviated K.I.A.
Mm.
Yeah, feel free to laugh at that. We are not the
No,
car.
that's what the K.I.A stands for. Because I saw your your name. Okay.
Yeah, Kinetic Impact Airsoft. We are not the car dealership. Yes, we are quite alive. Um, you know, it's just one of those things that kind of worked out, and we're like, yeah, we really like that name. So
Yeah.
we're gonna stick with it. And the logo, Mark made the logo. So I mean, but one of our things is Kinetic Impact Airsoft, and one of our catchphrases is "We're always moving," which that's literally says, you know, we're never standing still. We're never happy with what we have. We always want to
Yeah.
move to that next objective. We want to move to that next level. And that's what we're doing with this event. So, in previous events, we had items out in the field. Now, this is a mill sim I'm talking about. Sorry, I kind of rabbit trailed, but this is for purpose, I guess. So, in a normal mill sim, for those of you that haven't played mill sim, the game starts at a certain time. We'll say 8, 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday,
Yeah.
and depending on your mill sim, it'll either run all the way through Sunday night, or it will stop at a certain time Saturday and pick back up on Sunday. Ours are the
Right.
latter. We stop at a certain time on Saturday. We pick back up on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And the game doesn't stop. The objectives might change, the battlefield might change, but the game itself does not stop. It just goes. So we have capture points, right? So you think like any video game like Domination or anything like that. We have those. We use digital capture points. We're
Hmm.
the only, from my knowledge, there might be some others out there, but because I work with Elite Laser Tag equipment, and because the owner is freaking awesome and allowed me to take company money and develop these props, we have props that in real time will score points and send them back to a computer. And I know who
Ah.
controls what point, how long they've controlled it for, and an active live score.
Now, is that something that no, I mean that sounds awesome. Is that
Yeah,
something that somebody that's not at the event could go on somewhere and watch the progress or see that?
not at this time. We have
Oh,
we have
okay.
not we have not gotten to that point. That is on the slate. So these props are actually still in R&D. We're trying to make
Hmm.
them rugged enough so that Elite Laser Tag equipment can actually sell these. Um, that's the idea, right? This wasn't just like some Angel Grace thing. The idea is eventually we're going to sell these and other people will have them. But
Yeah.
Kinetic Impact Airsoft will be the first to have them.
Well, I
And
mean,
we're
there's already a system out there that does that. It's a skirmish. I've talked about it before.
skirmish. What's
Yeah,
skirmish
yeah.
do?
Skirmish.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
these,
that shows your troop movement, so doesn't it?
yeah. So this is
Yeah. So we're
same
not
thing. Well,
kind of.
the boxes can be programmed to do whatever you want on the field. So they could be medic stations, they could be checkpoints, they could be objectives that you have to take over. They could be uh, cash drops or like bank robber type of scenario where
And
the longer
skirmish.
you're in there, you get more gold
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
thing, whatever.
So, but skirmish uses Wi-Fi, right? It uses Wi-Fi or cell.
So yes, so it
Yeah,
uses Wi-Fi off of one box,
cool. I can go out in the
but
middle of the desert with my system. I don't need any of that. Period.
well, how do they talk to each other?
RF radio that's built into the unit.
Gotcha. Okay.
So every unit has the same radio. So I don't need the computer to operate them. I can operate 1 to 40 units independently without any Wi-Fi, without any Bluetooth, without any cell signal. It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same technology that's in the laser tag rifles.
Huh.
So I
Interesting.
can, yeah, and yes, I agree. Skirmish is a kick-ass system. But what if I'm out in the middle of nowhere where I don't have power? I don't have the infrastructure I need. So now I have to either haul out a generator out there. I have to create that power.
So
My system, I
are there
don't. I just set
AOs
the
that you
boxes up and
play
turn
at
them on.
that doesn't have power?
With my laser tag equipment, I have, yes. Right now with
Okay.
Kinetic Impact, we've only been on like 2 fields because we're still a young company. We're only about a year and a half old.
Yeah, but I'm saying like big mill sim, mill sims or whatever, like AOs that they
So
play at. They don't
yeah,
they don't usually
there are some out there like reindeer games. We had like 1 or 2 bars of cell service out there the whole time we were out there.
right. Yeah, I've definitely experienced that because when I went to Barnwell, South Carolina, it's GTI
Yeah,
down here in southern so South Carolina. They have no cell service, bro. It is so much out in the woods. But they've got
yeah,
it's an actual government training institute. That's what GTI stands for. But they do have one spot on there that has pretty strong Wi-Fi. And but yeah, anyway. So
yeah.
yeah,
It's
so your system, what they're developing, you could so it just runs off the batteries that are in the boxes,
correct. And
and it's enough signal.
the batteries right now on one charge last about 12 hours, and
That's wild.
we're trying to get it to about 16 hours.
Yeah.
But again, we don't want these things to weigh a ton, so that's why they're in R&D, because we're still trying to develop a cost-efficient battery. Because at the same time, I can't, if I make $1,000 prop, nobody's going to buy it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I know one thing. The as far as that part, the skirmish boxes, they run off of regular 110, like you can plug them in,
Yeah,
or you can run them off of a. I think he has a Dean's
probably,
connector on
yeah,
them.
probably some kind of power inversion or something.
No, just a regular airsoft gun battery.
Oh, okay.
So your
Yeah,
AEGs or whatever. Yeah.
I
So
wonder. I wonder
nine
what the life on
six.
that is. It's not going to be real long
I
because
think he said 10 hours. So.
I'd have to look at it, but no, I
Well,
might.
it's not
We might
running all the
talk.
time. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not
Oh,
running all the
okay.
time. It's a RFID. So,
Okay. So it's
so
only. It's
this,
only.
so the
It's only.
box is an RFID reader. This is an
Oh, gotcha.
RFID chip, and so you have to be proximity. You have to tap it to the box, and that's
Oh,
the only
okay.
time. So the battery will last a long time. It's not, and but the draw for me when I saw it was that these boxes can go almost a mile in between each other and still communicate with each other. So you could have
They're
five
probably
boxes,
they're probably using something similar to what we're using. So that's about our range.
right? So it's yeah, exactly.
I'd
And
have to
then,
I'd
but
have to get with him and talk to him and
what
rip
he
it
did,
apart. And,
yeah, you should, man. It would. So what it does, you can anytime this system is used at any field, it's live in real time on the website. These boxes are connected,
oh, okay.
so
So it's got to
that's what the
connect to a
Wi-Fi is for.
yeah. It's got to connect to a hub that puts it on a site.
Correct.
Correct. Yeah.
So
We don't
now he
offer
doesn't
that right
have
now. So
to. But the attraction for me as a spectator, because I don't go to all these mil sims whatever, was I could go on there and I can watch these games the way it's laid out.
yeah.
I could see what objectives being taken over. I could see that kind of thing. So it was
Yeah. It's
interesting,
neat. It's
for me for sure.
it's neat. It's definitely something I might like
Yeah.
reach out to our engineers and have them talk to.
Right.
I mean, my draw for our equipment was that there's a big, huge visual indicator. The boxes that we have, they actually have to come over and hold down a button, and the idea is if you
Yeah.
get shot, you let go of the button.
Right.
Um,
Right.
yeah. So I
I
mean,
think these
it's
guys, like when
that's the idea.
Stonebreaker, when I went to last year, they have like Third Coast. A lot of these places have their own kind of system they've developed over the
Yeah.
years.
Every
Third Coast,
AMS
Mil,
has flags. I know
yeah,
that.
AMS. I'm not sure about Milsim West, but I know Grimnir Tactical, Northeast. Up in the Northeast, they developed their own shit. Dude, they've got fucking drones with tag-in launchers, grenade launchers hooked onto the fucking drone. Okay, that they use for when you're calling in an airstrike. When they call an airstrike for Grimnir, it's not a fucking an admin walking through going and throwing down a red smoke grenade or something saying, "Oh, you're all dead." It's a fucking drone that's flying around that shoots a tag in out of this thing. That's fucking nuts, dude. But anyway, yeah, a lot of these companies have developed their own systems for tracking, gameplay stuff and checkpoints and that kind of shit while they're during their milsims. But so this one sounds really interesting that you don't need Wi-Fi, you don't need outside power. Now, if you guys could figure out how to get it to where a spectator like myself could see it while you guys are playing, that'd be the shit, bro.
So I think that's actually something similar to that's in the slate. I'm not sure. I'd have to get with R&D
Yeah,
because since we took over the company, we've actually been rewriting a lot of the programming and stuff like that.
gotcha.
The guy that owned the company before was using programming that was old,
Yeah,
and he didn't really want to evolve it because evolving it costs money, and it was all about right now, not the future.
sure.
Our current owner is a lot like the philosophy of Kinetic Impact. He's always wanting to push the envelope, wanting to push forward, wanting to develop the product,
Yeah,
not wanting to just let it sit there and just keep
you
raking in,
can't, man.
what
You
money you
can't.
can. Yeah,
Technology is about change. Is about moving forward. What's the next thing? Like you got to adapt.
exactly.
Hmm.
So, but that was our big claim to fame initially, was that we have these digital towers. I wish I would have brought one up
Yeah,
here to show you. I have one, but I don't. It's too much of a pain in the ass. It's way over there. It's
that's
huge.
fine.
You
Yeah.
know, it's on a tripod, so it stands taller than I do.
I'll tell you what
Um,
you do. If you can take some pictures of it, or if you have pictures of it, if you're allowed to,
oh, hold on.
if it's,
No, I'm allowed to.
you can send it
It's
to me, and I'll
actually,
put
you
it
know
on
what?
our video here
Hold on. I got an
when I
idea.
edit.
I got an idea. I think we might, with the power of technology.
There you go. Look at this shit. Okay, you figure it out. Fucking jarheads. Jesus.
Adapt and overcome, right? All right. So I don't know how good this is going to look. Can you kind of see it?
Yeah, it looks like a tripod.
Yeah, the tripod and then the tower underneath it changes colors from red to blue, depending on
Oh
who
shit.
controls it. The whole thing.
Okay.
And then
Nice.
Yeah, and then it's a big. It has a big crate on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like not like a crate, like a suitcase. What are they called? The all-weather
Oh,
ones.
what is it?
Uh,
The Pelican boxes or something?
yeah, it's an off-brand of Pelican, and
Motherfucking huge ass
yeah, it's a Pelican box.
survival,
It's not like
indestructible, waterproof
yeah,
boxes and shit.
it's the suitcase one size one, guys. It's not
Bro,
the Dumbo drop one.
these dudes are talking like Pelican boxers are like the most, durable, this does that, and it's,
Oh,
tactical. And
I've
they look
broken them.
cool. They look
I've
cool.
broken them.
Bro,
I've broken the
fucking
fuck
get
out of
get an old suitcase from the 70s. That motherfucker is indestructible and you can't pry it open, okay? I tried.
So there's an off brand that I like to use for especially for this kind of stuff. It's called Apache. You can get it at Harbor Freight. Super, about a third of the cost, and they're
Harbor
just as
Freight's
good.
awesome.
Oh yeah,
Shout out Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Why are they not sponsoring our shit? Half of our stuff comes from there.
No shit, dude, for real.
Put that on my list of people to talk to sponsor my events.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, we have a metric ton of sponsors. Matt wanted me to recognize all of them.
Yeah.
I'm
Whenever
not
you want, man.
Oh, but then I have to look up the list.
Yeah.
It's like 30. It's a long list.
So instead of saying it, can you just send it to me and I'll put it on?
No, I'm going to say this. Go watch Black Wolf's videos. They're all there. Go watch any of the K.I.A. videos.
Shout out Black Wolf videos.
All the sponsors are on his videos.
I'll put that link in there and it'll link to all those other ones.
Yeah, and then I got if you look in the links that I sent you, I've got episode 1 and episode 2 for high rollers.
Yeah.
Those are out there for you guys. We finished filming that. I get to be a star in one of them for once.
Oh, Jesus.
I know, it's horrible.
That's a little scary, actually.
What? Just because I have a face made for radio?
So, I'm looking at this video right now. Okay, High Rollers episode 1 and 2.
Yep, I believe I sent you both of those. Yeah, they're there.
So, which one are you a star in? The whole thing?
I'm in 2, but you need to watch 1 to know what's going on in 2.
Don't go on pizza. Pineapples don't go on pizza.
Yeah,
man, who the fuck came up with that?
That you blame that with you have that out with Matt next time he's on your show. Okay, that's
fuck you, Matt. Fucking Hawaiian pizza is the fucking shit, bro. It's awesome.
I don't care for it personally. I'm not saying it's bad. I don't care for it personally, but I believe firmly that there should be a full dead animal on my pizza.
That's what the meat lovers is, bro.
Exactly. Bonus points if it's several parts of the same animal. You know what I'm saying?
So listen, what is? I don't even know. This is how dumb I am. What's pepperoni made at? What kind of meat is pepperoni? I know it's just mashed up whatever.
It's basically all the shit meat that they didn't know what to do with.
Is it pork or is it beef?
I think it's a little of both.
I think so too. Okay, so you got
it's
pork
all
and
the
beef on
shit.
there.
It's all the shit cuts of the meat that they don't use, and then they grind it up and make it into a sausage.
Right, and then
it's like chicken. It's like chicken nuggets, but
it's like chicken nuggets.
Beef. Yeah,
but chicken nuggets is still crushed up stuff that's part of a chicken.
Exactly.
But and then you got Canadian bacon, like strips of it.
Hey, Canadian bacon is not freaking bacon. It's grilled ham.
It's ham.
Fight me.
Yeah. But it's still pork. Bacon is pork. Ham is pork. It's fine.
No argument there. But Canadian bacon is not bacon, sir. How dare you sully bacon's good name?
Bro, I grew up. Ham. It was called Canadian bacon. I don't know where it came from. I'm not. It's not my fault. Canadians don't know what real bacon looks like. Okay. And then you got sausage on there, like Italian sausage, like a meat lover's pizza. So and sausage is like pork, I think.
Yeah, it's funny because the meat lovers that I get, I always add bacon on top of a Canadian bacon. I have more bacon. Yeah,
like regular bacon.
If I'm gonna die to a heart attack, it's gonna be American bacon. Pizza. It's gonna be eating an American pizza, watching American football.
Nice.
And the last word is going to be the last words out of my captured breath are going to be America as I go out. That's how I want to go out.
Right.
No, damn right. Funny. All right. But yeah, so we back down the path.
So you got the high rollers. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you're a
so we
star in one of them,
yeah,
and
I actually play a decent role in one of them. I'm not just some rando in the background.
gotcha.
Matt's actually mad at me about the first one because there's a scene where he's interrogating a guy and he made me be
Yeah.
the camera guy, and apparently a leaf got in the way and I didn't notice it, but we didn't have time to reshoot it. So Matt's like, "Well,
How
we
did you
can't
not
edit,"
notice a fucking leaf, bro?
because I was just sitting there holding it, not even looking into the lens. I was looking to the left.
Jesus.
I was also the safety guy. We were playing on an active field. We were shooting on an active field. There was a game coming down range. I didn't want his expensive camera to get shot.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm like staring this way, making sure like these guys aren't going to roll up on us, and I'm just holding the camera as steady as I can here,
Yeah.
basically being a living tripod. And
Right.
eventually, this leaf just wanders right like this, right in the middle of the shot. And it's like, what are we gonna do? You know, we can't. We don't have time to reshoot that. I'm like, give the fucking leaf a credit and go watch the credits. He gave the leaf a
No,
credit.
that's fucked up. So now is it in there for a long time?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
it's a good 2 minutes.
Oh my God, bro. Shame on you.
That was like we shot it two or three
Shame
times. He had
on
two.
you.
Hey, we shot it 2 or 3 times. He had two of the takes. That was the best take, he said. So that's the one we're using. So I didn't edit it. I mean, you want me to be a tripod? I mean,
that's what a
I did.
cameraman is. Okay.
Yeah.
Human tripod. Yes. Movable, mobile.
I never
A mobile tripod.
That's why when I started this airsoft company, I went and found people that were good at doing this stuff because we all know I'm fucking not. And you asked me to do it, so this is what you get.
Right. See.
But honestly, hey, shout out to Matt. He still makes it work. It still looks pretty good.
Good.
He's not.
Well,
he's
dude. Now you got me curious.
As a true artist, he is not happy with it. But
Is this the first part with the pineapple thing on pizza?
Yeah, yeah. So he's interrogating our buddy.
Do you remember? So this is an 8.5 minute video. What? Do you remember where it's at?
Not entirely. If you kind of like just skim through it, you're gonna see a part where there's a guy leaned up against a tree. That's where the leaf happens.
Okay.
Matt's gonna be so mad that I brought this up too. I could hear it now.
Oh, come on. That's, it's fine.
I thought
it's fine.
Hey, I'm pointing out the fact that we gave that leaf a credit. That leaf is a star, okay?
All right, so somebody is oh yeah, I see the guy leaning up on the tree. He's got a long beard.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my
He's
boy
interrogating
Baker.
him.
Yep.
Oh, you're talking about the brush that's in front?
Yeah, that leaf.
Well, it's not blocking the shot. The focus is still on the guys.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad at all,
dude. Yeah, but it drove Matt mad. It drove Matt mad because he is an artist through and through.
Yeah, I get it. I get it, Matt. I get it. Yeah, I understand. But
he's damn.
Honestly, when I just watched that short clip, it was not like it didn't blur out, right? It didn't. The camera wasn't trying to focus on that branch, right?
It didn't take
bush that was.
It didn't take away. Like when I watched it, it felt like it didn't take away from anything. You
Not
didn't
at
really
all.
Notice it
Not
unless somebody points it out. You're not really going to notice it. But once you point it out, you can't not see it. You know.
Now, are these videos released already?
Yeah, they're live, dude. They're out in the wild.
Okay,
there's nothing we can do about it now.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. So somebody can watch these before they watch our podcast and not know, because once they hear this, they're going to go. I can't even watch the video now, like without focusing just on this fucking branch of a bush sticking in the middle of the screen there. But honestly, it wasn't detracting.
No, like I said, you wouldn't even notice unless somebody pointed it out. But once somebody points it out, you can't not see it.
I know I was talking with a honey badger one time, and he said something similar, and I go, yeah. Well, no, we were talking about with my boys, well, all my kids when they were, when they were getting to 10, 11, 12-year-old age, and I told them, I said, I can't remember how the subject came up, but like watching things like on the internet, and I said, so the lesson I taught them, instead of getting that net nanny or internet, parent, whatever bullshit that, where your kids can't go on certain sites, whatever. I didn't want to fuck with all that. I looked into it. I tried all the stuff, and I was like, this is so much fucking work, bro. I don't have time for that. And I said, they're going to, in my head, I'm thinking they're going to look at this shit anyway when they just leave the house, right? When they go to their friends, they go. So what I taught them was, and this is relatable to what we're just talking about, is I sat them all down and I was like, look, there's a lot of nasty, ugly, gross, disgusting, horrible, kind of horrifying things on the internet that people, put up that you can search. And especially for young kids like you guys. I understand your curiosity is going to take over when you're with your friends. You're going to do whatever. Just know this one rule. What you see, you cannot unsee. And it's going to take a lot of information to dilute that once you see it. So if you see something really fucking nasty that scares you, I know you're going to be curious to look it up. But once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And it's going to fuck you up for a little while, okay? Until you dilute that shit. But anyway, yeah, same thing. Like once you see it, then now that people
I feel like Patton Oswalt has a joke talking about that in his last special. He was talking about the fact that like he has important information goes in his head, but there's no space because of all like the nerd knowledge that he has in there. Like stuff on how to save his young daughter's life that he takes a class for, and he can't remember it because he's remembering who the second lieutenant on some spacecraft on Star Trek or something was.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying entirely. Like it's just one of those things. It's like it's just committed. Now you want to see it. Now you see it, and every time you watch it, you're going to see it for a while.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. That's
so the leaf didn't look that bad. Actually, that's not too bad. But I understand where he's coming from. Especially from, he's a filmographer or whatever you call it.
He's I just
videographer.
I call him just an artist because his photos are actually really damn good.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I just call him an artist because he's good in both. He's good in both mediums. I'm sure that's not all he's good at. I'm sure he's hiding shit from me because he doesn't want me to try to tap him for more stuff. But no, honestly, one of the most genuine people I know probably would be Black Wolf.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the vibe I got when I talked to them. Honestly, that's pretty much the vibe I've got with everyone I've talked with in Airsoft.
Well, Mark's fairly genuine too, to my expertise with him. Like, but he's that guy that you keep around because if something goes down, he's gonna wait until you're like, all right, you got your ass kicked. Did you learn your lesson? Hold on, let me take care of this now.
Oh shit. Well, he let you learn.
Yeah,
on your own.
Yeah,
and then
he saves the day.
Then he'll help you.
Yeah. I always laugh. I'm like, dude, you're not doing that. You're just letting me wear them down so they're easy for you. Don't.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bonus, right? The real lesson is you learned way better. You learned a lesson that's way better because you fought through it. You hit your head against a brick wall, metaphorically, and then you go, okay, now what? And then he's like, hey, I have the solution right here. And so once you're at that point, when you get into an issue and you can't figure it out, if you haven't really tried, you still have this thing in you. You want to really work at it and figure it out. If somebody tries to offer you advice, like, hey, there's a better way, you're like, I'm not going to listen to you. In your head, you're like, I'm not listening to you, bro. I know what to do. And it's only when you're kind of at your wit's end, you've hit your head against the wall for a while, and then you go, and then somebody goes, oh yeah, just do this. And you're like, oh shit, okay. You learn way better in that position because you're ready to absorb that information. So it sounds like he's a good teacher.
To an extent.
Oh shit.
He's a good teacher when people want to learn. And he tried to teach me the day, and I'm like, hey, Mark. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I respect what you do.
Yeah.
But I have you doing it so I don't have to learn how to do it. And he's like, fair enough. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Right.
Yeah. He's since given up teaching me, and he's like, just send it to me, I'll do it.
Right.
But I get, no. You're not going to do it right. Send it to me and I'll do it. Yeah. Okay, Mark. Well, he is not that aggressive about it. He's going to listen to this podcast. Mark, I'm joking. He's a sweetheart about it. He really is, but
yeah.
Yeah. In my messed up mind, that's how I hear sometimes. I'm like, but I want to do it. But Mark wants to do it. So
Well,
we're going to let
now
Mark do it.
I will say I agree in that sense with there's certain things like people, different personality types have, and different people have their strengths and weaknesses, right?
Yeah.
Some people are better at technology or let's say web design or coding or programming. Like coding's different than programming. All these different variables. Some people are better at outdoor stuff, okay, fishing and hunting and whatever, okay, survival stuff, all these different pieces of information, working on cars, not working,
Yeah.
whatever. And if somebody who is very experienced in a certain area can tell right away, really right away, within a few minutes of talking with somebody about different terminology or how they worked on things, or just have them explain what they did to overcome this issue with, let's say, a web designer, a computer, or a video, or a whatever, anything to do with technology like that. You can find out if you're very experienced at it and you're very good at it, and it comes now, it's kind of your thing. You can tell right away, like this person, they're never going to get it. Okay, it's just not part of them. I know I've worked with guys that are just not mechanically inclined. Worked in factories where they just don't get it, man. Like you try to explain to them how the weight of this over, with leverage and moving this
Yeah.
piece over here, like in factories, whatever, or measuring certain things. You teach them 10 times, they really don't understand. Like it just does not come natural to them. It would take a lot of work for them. They could learn it, but it would take a ton of work, like on their part, to memorize because it doesn't come. They don't understand how this works. I'm the same way with coding and programming. I don't understand it. I'm very good with hardware, like putting together a computer, getting all this shit set up, working on cars, working on machines and stuff. But the
You're more tactile, less visual.
yeah, right, yep,
Yeah, I'm more of a, tactile person myself. But I
yeah,
learned a long time ago, like I surround myself with people that are better at what I'm
right.
weak at. So it's funny because like I was talking to
That's
my
good for
buddy.
you because
Yeah,
you don't let your ego get in the way. Good.
no, if I am not good at something, I'm not good
Mm-hmm.
at it. I would rather I would rather whoever's good at it do it. So my wife, she's a better cook than me.
Yeah,
She cooks.
absolutely.
It's not
Same here.
because I'm a misogynist. Can I cook? Yeah, I make some pretty baller ass chili. I make
No,
really
that's a
good shit on the
fact.
grill.
You're not judging. Yeah.
But if it comes down to it, and my wife's like, "I want to cook," I'm not going to argue. I didn't
No.
get. I like to joke. I didn't get fat on accident. Like. But and same with decorating the house. My wife is way better at than me. I mean, you look around my office; it is pure functionality.
Yep.
There's holes in the walls and random ass
Same.
places. It
Yep.
drives her nuts. But because my workshop is my space, it's functional.
Yeah.
The rest of the house is gorgeously decorated. I could have never have done it. My wife can do it because she
Right.
is opposite of me. Just like Matt, I can't do all the video stuff. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the know-how.
Yeah.
I don't have the want to learn.
Sure.
Same with the website stuff with Mark. I don't have that skill set. He
Mm-mm.
does, and it behooves me to recognize I'm not good at this, and then to let him do it.
Yeah. Let him do it. It's fine.
And yeah, I use the word behoove in a sentence. Eat that, sixth grade teacher, English teacher. Eat it.
Uh.
But yeah. So I mean, getting back to everything.
Yeah. So
Fell ass
you're talking
backwards
about
into
we're
laser
talking about the
tag.
high rollers.
Started doing that. Moved on.
Yeah.
Did those 3 events, and we do stories before the events. So if you go look at any of our past events, we have a story that leads up to the event. There are story elements on the field that the players can interact with.
What do you mean?
So we have
So you have a before the event.
before the event.
How do
So
you portray the?
so we have these 2 videos so far, right? And we have a third one that we're working on. We've got all the video, we've got all the footage in the cam. We're just waiting on editing and when we're going to release it.
Okay.
So during the game, you may have a chance to interact with me. You may have a chance to interact with either the CEOs of both factions who are both in the video. You may have a chance to interact with one of our people and Inspector Kobold. You know what I mean? They're going to be on the field as NPCs at some point doing something,
Yeah.
and you have the chance to interact with them. You may see a prop that you was on the video. You now get a chance to interact with that prop. Maybe
So it's like Fallout. So it's
exactly
like Fallout where you have the NPCs, you can interact and it changes or adds to the
correct.
story. Now, if somebody, how do they know this before the event? They have to watch these videos?
Well, nobody has to, but we tell everybody, and we tell them at the safety briefing on Friday. You really don't have a chance if you come on Saturday, so come on Friday. Come early to a Milsim event and get registered early. It helps everybody. Uh,
Exactly.
don't be that guy. Oh, the game doesn't start till 10. Chrono closes at 9:30, and you get there at 9:29.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, don't be that guy. Come in on a Friday. Come in on Friday. Hang out with us. I mean,
Now,
I'm
where
not
would
gonna
they see
lie.
this prequel kind of, or
Black Wolf
this?
Videos is where we put all of our stuff.
Now, you put that out before the event.
Correct. Well before the
Okay.
event, at least a week
So
before.
somebody could, if they wanted to. You don't have to go to
Yeah,
the event. You don't have to watch it, these
correct.
videos before you go to the event. But if you want to get the full experience and kind of like that, where you interact with all these different things and you get bonuses or whatever it is that
Yeah,
some kind of perks you get throughout the event, you can watch these videos at Black Wolf Videos, and that's on YouTube, and I'll put the link in here. But
okay,
they can watch those videos that are associated with that event, and they'll
correct.
understand.
And
Okay,
then if they want to go look at past events, because right now this is the fourth segment of this story. There are three
gotcha.
previous segments, and we have all the videos leading up to the game. We
Okay,
have the
and they're all
gameplay
connected.
video. Yeah, exactly. We have the gameplay video, and then we have the end video, and the end video can change depending on the players. We
Oh
shoot.
shit!
Like the second event's my favorite one to tell the story, and I think I told it to you again already once. So I'm gonna tell you again because I like it that much.
Yeah.
We shot four or three different endings for the second event.
Mm.
Three different endings. The players went so off the rails with what we expected them to do that none of those endings fit. So while we were doing the raffle at the end, Matt had the main characters at a spot at D14 on the field, and they were reshooting the ending right there, just so we could match up with the story.
Holy shit!
So everything we do is everything that we want to do is. It all goes back to my favorite video game of all time growing up was um, Command and Conquer. Red Alert.
Oh
All right.
right.
So you
Yeah.
watch this cinematic cutscene, right? And it's like C-bit actors, and they ham it up or whatever. It's really fucking
Yeah, but
horrible.
they
And
had
it didn't
some
age
good
well.
fucking cutscenes for older games, man.
Exactly, and it
They
was an
really did.
actual production, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then you cut to the video game, and you do the video game, and depending on what happens in that level, depends on which cutscene you're gonna see, and that's what we want
Right.
to do. We're setting the videos before the event, set up the event,
Yeah.
and then we're cutting to the gameplay, and depending on what happens in the gameplay, depends on what cutscenes you have. And we have cutscenes that I don't know if ever going to make the light of day. Matt says he still has them in the can. I don't know, but we don't know if they're going to make the light of day. But we have several cutscenes for every scenario,
Or
or we try to
outcome.
be. Yeah, we
Right.
try to be. And then my history running a laser tag arena, and then being a D&D dungeon master for I don't even know how many years, like getting close to 20.
So is the Dungeon Master like I've
He's
never played D&D.
so D&D is
Is that
a
high up?
communal. It's a communal storytelling
I mean, I
game.
know what it is.
Yeah,
I've had a lot of friends. I've watched it,
you should
but I've
play
never
sometime.
actually sat down and played it.
You should sit down and play sometime. It's a
I'm
lot of
totally
fun.
open to it. Yeah.
You basically sit down, and the dungeon master isn't a player. He is the guy that facilitates the story. So
Okay.
when I'm the dungeon master, I'm all the NPCs. I'm the one
So
determining
you've
whether or
got to
not you need to
create,
roll.
be
Yeah,
kind of creative on the fly. Like,
exactly, because you could do
oh,
something that's
okay.
not that I don't have in my notes, or I don't have on my module. Well,
Yeah,
how do I
yeah.
react to that?
Right.
I didn't expect you to come over and cast gust of wind and knock the barmaid's skirt up. How do I react to that?
Yeah.
Well, how would the barmaid act? And
Hmm.
now I have to relay that in a manner that you're going to understand and that you're going to emote to, so that we can have this communal storytelling experience.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it is, but it kind of gives you a neat skill set where you can kind of gauge where they're going to go. You don't
Yeah,
know exactly, but you kind of have an idea of where the story's going to go, so that way
sure.
you can react uh, preemptively.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and for the most part, we've been pretty on it. Like 1 and 3, we kind of knew which way it was going to go.
Gotcha.
Which way, one of the 2 ways it could go. On 2, we didn't know,
Mm.
and they surprised the living dog stone out of us.
Yeah.
But we are setting the scene now, and the story, just in a nutshell, is that the entire government has collapsed. That was one, right? Factions are rising up to take. It's an economic collapse, and factions are rising up to take parcels of land. The United States government, backed by NATO, came in and they're like, "Hey, we're going to remake the U.S." And then certain places like Texas said, "No, you're not. We're not.
Mm.
You failed once. We're not a part of this no more."
Mm-hmm.
And then the new United States, backed by NATO, forcing its hand.
Gotcha.
Militias rose up. Militias failed, and UNSG rolled through them in 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Um,
Did
they
you
put
read? Are you a book reader? Did you read Tom Clancy at all
no.
in the past? Okay.
I don't. I'm an impatient person. I don't have the time. If it was an audiobook, I might. Nothing against reading.
Well, they got the books on tape,
Yeah.
quote unquote. They got the Audible and
I
audio,
might.
audiobooks, whatever.
I could throw them up in my shop, but then my ADHD is like.
You don't have to
so.
read them. I just, but that scenario has been written about quite a bit. And Tom Clancy actually had a connection with the U.S. military, and the Defense Department, where he knew the scenarios they ran, and he wrote about it, like in fiction, But yeah, that's wild,
over.
dude. Right.
Yeah. Well, I haven't read any of those. We just figured it would be a good starting point.
Yeah, it's good.
And we're doing that now. And the NUSG, I keep adding extra letters.
What is it now?
So
NUSG?
NUSG, the new United States government.
Gotcha.
Oh, we really need a better faction name for the next one. They're more
NUSG. Okay, that's not bad.
NUN. I added extra N. None SG.
Bro.
When I say it fast, it's dumb.
Did you go to Catholic school or something? You want to put none in there? Jesus.
No.
Got attacked.
If I went to Catholic school, I want to be nowhere near a nun. Are you kidding me? That's a
subconsciously. Okay, that's what it is.
Anyway, so the new United States government has taken over Texas, and they're starting to move north. Well, they ran into a faction in Oklahoma, the Texas Defense Corporation (TDC), who is using illegal casinos in Oklahoma, because Oklahoma is known for casinos here in Texas, because that's where we all go to gamble, because we can't gamble in Texas. Don't ask me why.
That gambling law is so fucking weird to me.
It's arbitrary, and it got I don't know.
Why is it illegal to gamble? I don't understand that.
It's casinos are illegal, and that's the weird thing.
Why? I don't understand, bro.
I can pay into the lottery, I can bet on sports, but I can't go to a casino.
It's fucking weird.
Anyway, so they've been using casinos to fund a war machine to start recapturing Texas and its original state, which was all the way from Mexico and included New Mexico, basically went up through Idaho all the way through to Canada and some of Canada.
Damn. Now, let me ask you this. In this scenario, is the current U.S. dollar, it was an economic collapse. So what are they using as currency? Like in Fallout, they use caps or bottle caps.
We actually haven't addressed that.
Okay.
Right now, it's just been a lot of...
So what are the casinos using to fund just dollars? So it still has some value or something?
Poker chips and dollars is what we've been using in the films. So
gotcha.
Yeah, that's the idea. There's still value in the dollar. It's not a complete monetary collapse.
That's always the value is always just based on what me and you say it is in a transaction.
A dollar bill is only worth what you think it's worth. It's not, right. You know what I mean? It
has nothing to do with the government says how much this is worth.
Exactly.
It's me and you on the street. If you're my neighbor and I come across the street and I say, "Oh, you got a bag of beans. Here, I got a $10 bill." You accept it. That's value. That's it.
We haven't done anything with in-game currency yet. I've played in a couple games that had in-game currency, and they didn't end well. And it got kind of weird because a lot of people didn't know how to spend the currency.
They didn't
They didn't know
understand the
yeah,
system.
exactly. It was
Gotcha.
just it was another cog in the machine. And
Mm-hmm.
we're not. It might come in at some point. We haven't chose to address it right now. Pretty much, it's just
Yeah.
basically large bodies trying to gain power.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So in this version right now, what we've learned so far, and you can watch the other videos, we've learned some information. As far as cool gameplay things we're doing,
Yeah.
we have the towers. Obviously, we have the 4 control points that are going to be spread throughout the field. We have these nifty little boxes that are about yay big. They're just
Mm-hmm.
plastic printed boxes. Uh, those are going to be chained to things with the padlock, and you're only going to get those codes when you complete certain missions.
Oh,
And then,
nice.
yeah, and those are worth a ton of points. So you want to get those. You want to complete those missions and get those codes.
Gotcha.
And then, or combinations. And then the one thing that we're doing differently than the other games is everybody's going to get a playing card. And I should have brought it up here. I didn't think about it. We have we have two separate decks of playing cards. One for TDC with the TDC logo on the back, and one for the United States government with their logo on the back.
Oh, shit. Nice.
And the troops are going to we're going to shuffle up the decks, and the troops are going to be issued those cards, right? If I get shot and I'm on TDC, and NUSG force member shoots me and comes over, comes up to me and says search. He's now searching me for intel. I have to surrender my card. He
Gotcha.
takes that card back to his XOCO, and the XOCO is going to make the best poker hands they can out of these cards. Each
Gotcha.
hand is going to be worth different amounts of money.
Mm-hmm.
Once they turn those cards in, they will be recirculated back into the game's economy. So that if I lose my card, I go back and say I lost my card. They hand me another card.
Now, the value of the hand that you gather, is
It'll
that
vary.
based on poker, like
Yeah.
a royal flush or
Yeah.
straight, or okay, gotcha.
I'm not releasing those numbers as of yet.
You suck.
Well, I don't know. The game is April 14th or 15th and 16th.
Okay,
Pre-registration
like 3
will be the
weeks.
14th.
3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, is this podcast going to come out before then, or?
Yeah, this podcast come out Monday.
Oh, sweet. You know what? That's great. So one of the things that we've become known for is coupon codes, right? So what we do is we price it in such a way, our events in such a way that we don't price out our customers or potential patrons, but we do realize that, sometimes it's hard to come up with that $140. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we like to do coupon codes. Right now we have a coupon code running, and it'll be, by the time this podcast comes out, it'll be gone. And it's called Where's Crixus? Because I was supposed to be on vacation the last 2 weeks. And I kind of was on a staycation because, getting stuff done around the house. But
Right.
I was not paying any attention to anything Airsoft. So they're like, while the boss is away, we're going to give you $25 off. And, if you go use the code Where's Crixus, da-da-da-da. So I actually want to run another coupon code. But
Okay.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to announce it here. And we're going to actually probably, and I'm going to tell Matt to do this, we're probably going to pin people, make them come listen to this podcast for the code.
Yeah.
I want you to come up with the code. And yes, I'm putting you on the spot.
Me right now?
Right meow.
Oh, I don't mind. Right meow.
Right meow. So you
Right
tell
meow.
me a code.
Okay.
Caps do matter.
Okay. So this is for...
This is going to be $25 off, and I'm going to run this until the day of the event.
From the time this podcast comes out.
From the time this podcast airs to the day of the event.
Okay. And this is the event is what now? High rollers?
It's High Rollers at JTC Tactical in Biggs, Oklahoma.
How about poker chip?
Poker
all
chip.
Lowercase, all together, no spaces. Is that?
Yep, that's fine. Hold on.
It's not too long. Okay.
Nope, it is not.
Because I know on some of those, I've done those coupon codes before on my Wix website.
So sometimes people are a little dyslexic. So is this what you were thinking?
Poker chip? Yeah. That's
there you
it,
go.
brother.
That's $25 off right there, guys.
Yeah.
$25 off. So
I mean, casinos, high rollers, fucking poker chip.
Yep.
It'd be easy to remember. Okay.
And these, by the way, because I am horrible about remembering things, and if you are horrible about remembering things, Amazon $5. They are dry erase index card or dry erase playing cards. So
What?
yeah. So like
So you use the dry erase marker on them.
yeah.
Index
So
cards?
no playing cards.
Oh, playing cards. And then
So
it
yeah,
wipes
and then I
off.
just gone.
The
So
fuck?
I take a little note there and I just stick it up in a tray up on my wall. And there's a
Nice.
reminder. Oh shit. Okay. Well, let me take care of that now. Take care of it. Okay. Wipe it off.
Oh shit. So look, I'm still old school, bro. Look what I use for that shit. Okay.
Post-its. Yeah. Yep. I've got
A pen
post-its.
and post-its.
I've got post-its too. But you know what happens to
Yeah.
post? You know what happens with all those damn post-its? They get fucking everywhere.
Yeah, I
Clearing
don't
out a
use it
desk and
very
you find.
often.
I clear
Yeah.
out a desk and I find post-its. Um,
I actually use my notebook. I have a notebook. I just turn the page,
I
start a
tried
new
notebooks.
list,
I
and
tried
then
notebooks, but I keep losing the damn notebook.
oh shit. Oh, I've got a special spot right over here for mine. Yeah.
So there's a saying amongst people that play airsoft with me is not truly an airsoft event until Crixus has lost his car keys.
Oh Jesus, you're one of those guys.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yep. I was there sitting there staring at my car the other day, and somebody goes, "You lose your keys, huh?" Yep. He's like, "Here they are." I'm like, "What?" They were over there. I'm like, "Oh,
Oh
thanks."
shit.
Yeah, I'd
That's
already called
funny.
my wife to bring me my extra key.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
that's funny,
sorry.
dude. Have you
Yeah.
seen those? Have you seen those? Back in the '80s, we had these magnets, a key magnet. We used to
Yeah.
stick them on the frame of our car underneath. It was an extra key for your car. It was a really strong magnet.
Yeah, I
It
know.
had
I
it
know what you're
was a
talking about. It's
plastic,
a little plastic box.
little
It's
key
got
holder.
a
Yeah,
yeah. It's got a diatomaceous
slides.
earth or whatever, and it slides out. Yeah,
Right.
I
And we
thought
just put
about that.
our extra key in there. Yeah.
I haven't actually lost my key in quite a while.
Okay, that's
Because
good.
on my kit, so I have it here. On my kit, I only want one thing, not all of it. So everybody has like a tactical belt, right?
Yeah.
So I have this lovely little pouch here,
Yep.
and this pouch is not expensive. I got it on Amazon for like $5. This pouch is padded, so it fits my cell phone,
Nice.
and it's got these spots that are meant for car keys. And I just take my car or for your credit cards. I just take my car key and I stick it down in there.
There you go. Oh, and the flap locks over it.
Yep, and a key ain't going nowhere.
That's awesome.
And I'm going to show you something else, and I want to make a big fuss about this.
Oh Jesus. All right, everybody. X-rated. Okay.
No,
Watch
no,
out
no.
now.
It'll
R-rated.
it'll be clean. So I have a standard chest. What I use it's just a standard chest rig. It's got a backpack attached to it, right? Nothing special.
Yeah.
But this little pack here has this giant red piece of fabric in it. It's called a dead rag.
Bro, that's a dead towel.
Yes, it is. When I get shot, I want you to know you got me.
Right.
Please stop shooting me. I am dead. And you want to know the great thing about it? It's attached to my gear, so I can't lose it.
Yeah, I've seen those. Or
Yeah,
something similar.
Yeah, it's real simple.
Now
And
that one's a lot bigger than the ones I've seen, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
great to have.
Yeah, and I've got that one. I've got that one, and then I've got one on my shoulder, and then I normally slam one in my pocket too.
Gotcha.
And I'm saying this because it has become a habit of airsofters lately. And this is not
have
just
a
the new
dead rag on
guys.
them.
Yeah, they just put up their hand and
Mhm.
insist that they're hit. You are not hit if you put up your hand.
Dude, I don't know
I will
what...
shoot you again.
Shoot their hand that's up. I don't know what it is about people not using dead rags when they go to milsims. I think because open play, from what people I've talked with, maybe open play, they just raise their hand and walk off the field. Right?
Well, there are some fields that's what they say to do is raise your hand and walk away. And it's like, no,
Right.
no. That's if you are listening to this podcast and that's your field, please consider changing it to mandatory dead rags. You
Yeah,
can
it should
get
be-
red shop
Yep.
rags at any hardware store. Super
Now,
cheap.
I will say the indoor fields, the speed soft type of setup where it's real tiny, you don't need a dead rag. The time it would take to pull one out, people aren't going to see it. Just raise your hand. It's like an acceptable form of, hey, I'm dead, to raise your hand and walk off.
Yeah,
But
that's a
on
different
an outdoor
environment.
field with a
Yeah.
bigger area where there's a lot of different colors and background and foliage and whatever. Put your fucking dead light or dead rag and put it on
Yeah.
you where it's, in a place that everyone can see.
And if
Right?
you get
These guys,
shot,
when
if you get shot in the back and you only have a dead rag in the front, don't get mad. I couldn't see your dead rag. And you turn
yeah,
around to see it. I've done it before, and I felt bad. Like I shot him in the back of the head, because
right,
that's all I could see was his head. I couldn't see his dead rag because he had it like a Miss America thing
yeah,
across his chest.
right,
So when he turned around, I'm like, oh shit, sorry. You know,
yep.
he's like, he understood. Like I can't see. Despite popular belief, no matter how good this iPro is, it is not X-ray. Okay.
So what is
Despite.
so when you pull yours out, where does it
Yeah.
go? Does it
So
just go
what?
on your front?
No, it goes right over my left shoulder, and it's long
Oh,
enough where it drapes all the way over.
really?
That's why I got one
So
that's so
people
big
can
over.
see it from the front and the back.
Exactly. And I'll normally turn this side towards wherever I'm taking fire.
Well, show. So where did you get it? What is it? So people can
It's
know,
just an
or I can
Evike.
link it.
It's an Evike extra large dead rag. I don't know where you could get it on Evike because I got it
I'll look
as
it up and I'll
yeah.
list the link
It,
in
it's
this
got
video
a
because
it's got
it's
a
important
grommet in it. The pouch is just a random
for the
pouch that I
clip. Yeah.
found. Yeah, and then I took a D ring and I clipped it to the damn thing. That's all it
Mm-hmm.
is. You can also buy if you really want to. They sell the retractable ones. I've got one on my shoulder. That's my emergency dead rag. The pullouts, the quick ones.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people think that's the only dead rag that's on the market because they're a pain in the butt to put back in.
Oh,
And I think that's one of the things that lead to people just putting up their hands. It's just a pain in the ass.
gotcha.
This one, it's right on the love handle, right on my non-dominant side. So I just reach over
Yeah.
here and whip it right on out and throw it over my shoulder.
Yeah.
If I need to, if I'm real low, I can actually take it and throw it over my head too.
Gotcha.
But it is attached to me, and I really want to advocate for that because I always, especially with as hard as my rifle shoot, I
Right.
really
Right.
don't want to have to hit you more than I have to.
Sure.
But if you're gonna just hold up your hand, I don't know
Well,
if you're dead or
especially you
not.
want to, when people, especially in this game, in this hobby, in this sport, where one of the biggest obstacles that I've seen, or points of contention, is the not calling your hit. You want to support good behavior, which
Yeah.
is calling your hit. And so people that do call their hit and they're walking out the field, but you can't see their dead rag, uh, you don't want to shoot. You don't want to overshoot them. You don't want to shoot
No.
them again while they're dead. And yeah, so I absolutely 100%. I've seen these guys in these videos with the milsims. A lot of people they'll have the I don't know if it's like a 10 by 10 or 8 by 8 square, real thin, like nylon cloth or whatever.
Yeah.
They'll stick it on their head, but it's really tiny, like it barely covers their helmet, and it can blow off and whatever.
Well,
So
those are so most milsims you go to.
yeah.
We haven't yet. We might in the future when we get a little bigger and it's not so cost prohibitive. But what they'll do is they'll go buy these in bulk from like Evike.
Oh, okay.
I have like 10 or 11 of them, and those are the ones that come in their welcome package. I mean,
Oh,
that's the event saying use a damn dead rag.
yeah, because they probably had to do that because people don't use it
Yeah,
or they don't bring their own dead rag.
we gave
Okay.
you one for free. You have no
Yeah.
excuse.
Yeah,
Use
it's
it.
built into the ticket. Here it is. Fucking take
Exactly.
it with you and use it on the field because we're tired of telling you and you haven't been using it for the last fucking 10 times,
Well,
okay?
and I don't do this often. I don't do this
Yeah.
often. I do it every now and again. I call it the commander walk. So we have gotten so used to people nonchalantly walking by us. This literally happened. We're playing a game of Rush, and in Rush, you basically have force v force. It's in a small area, and you're pushing hard against each other, the whole team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Neither team's going nowhere. And I was like, well, screw this. I have an idea. I'm going to try this. I let my gun hang. Hands off my gun. I'm just walking like I own the place.
Okay.
Nobody shoots me. There are BBs flying to my right and my left. People, they're shooting around me, but they're not
Yeah.
shooting me because they think, oh, his gun's not up. He must be dead, or he must be walking to the parking lot or something. I
Yeah.
walk right behind their line. I pull my pistol and I cap like 10 people before I get shot.
Mm.
And somebody's like, why did you do that? Because if it's not red, it's not dead. You should have shot me.
Oh.
And I tell people that if it's not red, it's not dead. If I can't see your dead rag, I am not going to assume you are dead. I am going to shoot you.
Gotcha.
And it's not me being a jerk. It's
Yeah,
not
like
me
at least
being,
once, right? At least
yeah.
just to check. Yeah.
And yes, I can single fire with the saw. I
Right,
actually
right.
shocked somebody at JTC Snowfall event because it was a RP event where we're talking, it's not like force v force, so you're not expected to go running and gunning like a crazy person. But I was on the cartel side, and I was in the city trying to talk to the civilians. And the DEA started a firefight probably about 20, 30 feet to my east in a clear opening after they ran right past me
Yeah.
with the cartel. And I looked at the civilian and said, I'm about to start some shit on this side. Are you guys good? Or are you going to bounce out? I'm like, we're going to bounce out. I'm like, all right, cool. So I whipped up the saw, one shot to his chest, one shot to his back, one shot to the back of his head, one shot to the back of his head. And then I turn around and suppress the entire right side with my saw.
Yeah.
And the kid never left. He's like, holy hell, I didn't know you could single fire on that. I'm like, that's called trigger control, bud. That's knowing the timing of your motor.
Just tap it.
Yeah. Just get a little tappy. A little tippy tappy. But yeah, I will advocate that to the day I am dead. Use dead rag, people.
For real.
It's the simplest of things. You think it would be. Just take that extra bit of effort. It makes everybody's game so much better. Even if it is that little chintzy square, right? Even if it's that and it's on the head and you tuck it in your hat or however you want to affix it to yourself, however it is, that little piece of red fabric is going to make your game better. It's going to be the person you're playing against game better, and everybody around you's game better. Because even if I'm not the one shooting you or the one getting shot, I'm looking to my right and my left, seeing who I'm fighting with. If you're dead and I think you're alive, that's information I need.
Well, let me ask you this. So dead rag for sure. I agree 100%. Especially with milsims. But if somebody, I mean, you've been playing long enough. If somebody is walking with their gun down, hanging out, they're not in an aggressive or assault position, or whatever, and they got their hand raised up. You're going to assume that they're dead and they're doing the dead walk.
Well, it depends on the situation. If I'm sneaking,
Gotcha.
I'll pull my pistol. I'll give one to the chest, right to the plate carrier.
Okay.
If it's open combat,
Just
I'll
to
literally
double check.
Yeah, just if it's open combat, force on force, everybody knows where I'm at already. I'll yell, "Are you dead?" If they don't respond, they're getting shot. If they say yes, I'm assuming they're dead.
Okay.
And then if they pull their pistol and shoot me after they say they're dead, obviously you're violating and taking me anyway.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, pull the little piece of red fabric. If you don't have one, talk to a player around you. Most of us carry 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Like, especially people like me that advocate very heavily for it.
Right.
D14, I know when I go there for open play, they'll literally take like a whole stack of red like shop rags and just throw them down. Say, take one. If you don't have one, take one. And I'll always take one and stick it in my pocket. Right. And I'll be damned if I ever have played a day where I have not had to give that to somebody as I'm clearing a building or something, and there's a kid with his hand up who didn't grab a dead rag.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I hand him a dead rag. It's like, oh, thanks, I forgot to grab one. No, you just didn't grab one. You didn't forget. You just didn't.
Yeah, I think in this in the environment where majority of airsofters are trying to be honest, right, and honorable on the field with calling their hits and stuff. On the opposite end, when somebody sees somebody that is raising their hand, walking off the field or whatever, or like what you did, where you have your gun down, just hanging there on your sling, and you're just walking like.
And I mean, I'm not advocating that to do that. By the way,
I know.
I understand
your situation
shady.
is totally different.
Yeah,
you're not trying to be shady. You're not trying to be, cheat. To me, that's cheating, where you pretend like, okay, I know how people think. I know that they don't want to overshoot, right?
Yeah.
In this environment, that's what majority of people don't. They don't want to overshoot. They don't want to be like these cheater videos we see where somebody's going ham on somebody. So they refrain from shooting because that you don't look like a threat, or you look like you're walking off the field, like, something, you're dead or something happened, whatever. But so you didn't do that. That's totally different situation. You were testing to see.
Yeah, I was seeing their alertness.
You were making a point with, hey, dead rag. We use dead rags. You need to look for that, and you need to use it. But I talked with somebody. It's only been one person, and honestly, I can't remember who it was, but they said they kind of did this same type of thing.
Yeah.
And I could think it was an indoor field. I'm not sure. But they walked as if they were dead.
Yeah.
But they didn't put their hand up. They just were non-combative. They had their gun down or whatever. And they walked like in this spot kind of towards the enemy spawn and hid in this corner. And as soon as they got back there, they shot these guys in the back. And I was like, wait, what? And you walked right past them and they were like, yeah. I was like, bro, that's kind of fucked up.
I mean, I was doing it to kind of teach a lesson to kids. And after I made sure to let all those kids know when I did that, hey, look, next time you see me, if I don't have a dead rag up and I'm walking to you and I'm on the other team, shoot me.
Yeah, that's totally different.
Shoot
that's
me.
Totally different. You weren't trying to get some fake kills, okay?
No, I was proving a point. And the funny thing is, the rest of the day, I had zero leniency from anybody on that team.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Zero. They even thought I didn't say
you
rag.
get shot once, and by the time you're trying to get your dead rag out, you're getting pelted and pelted. Oh, now we see it. Okay.
Yep. It's
funny.
not red enough yet. Hold on.
Yeah, there you go.
I learned my lesson that day too, but that's not the point.
But no, you didn't do that. What I was talking about, but
I didn't do it with malicious intent. I did it with the thing of, hey,
good point.
Not a lot of people are using dead rags today. What's up with this?
Mm-hmm.
Let's prove a point. And I made sure to
that's
do it
really
right in front of an admin. And it's
these milsims, from what I've seen, which these videos, and then going to a couple of them, dead rags are really important, man, because there's so many, bro.
It's not just gameplay, it's
Iron
safety.
Dagger, let's see, last year Stonebreaker, there were 700 players on the field. 700 on the field playing, okay? That's not including staff. That's not including fucking, the press pass, all these different press people walking around. It was 700 players. And, they bunch up in different areas, right? They group up.
Yeah.
You need to know who the fuck is dead and who's not.
Exactly. Everybody needs to know. Yeah. You need to know which your teammates.
Well, not only
are
that,
alive.
It's way different than the indoor player, sometimes the open play, where when you get shot in a milsim, you don't have to just get up and walk back to spawn with your hand up. You can lay there and get revived.
And you bleed out. There's a time where you have even if you are out of revives, you have to sit there for X amount of time.
You got to get a tourniquet on. You got to get a whatever, or you got to sit there for a certain amount of time.
We do the bandage wraps. So I think it's a 2 or 3 foot. I don't have the rule set in front of me, so it's a 2 or 3 foot ace bandage, and you have to have it wrapped around your arm by a dedicated medic. You can have that happen 2 times. On the 3rd time you're hit, you get to hang out for 5 minutes, and then you walk back.
Yep.
And that's one of those things. It's like, and that's another thing. Mind your bleed outs.
Yeah, that shit, right?
But that's not, to me, that's not as prevalent as use that dead rag, because it's not even just gameplay, it's safety, right? Do you really want to get, like, none of us really, we're playing Airsoft, we know we're going to get hit. But do you really want to get hit more?
Especially when you're not like in the action trying to shoot back. You're just laying there.
There's special clauses in every rule set where if you are shot and you're caught in the middle of a firefight, you can get up and walk away from that firefight.
Yeah.
Just so you don't have to get shot more because you're dead.
Yeah.
Like, we have that clause. I know AMS has that clause. I don't know Milsim West. I haven't really looked through their rule set. But I mean, I know that I know there's a couple other smaller milsims out there that they have the same idea. Like, if you are shot and you know that you're in the line of fire, you can scooch to the right or the left, get out of the line of fire.
Oh, yes, I've seen that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they don't want you taking those extra hits. There's no reason to.
Right. Yep.
Anyway, dead rag
so
rant.
Dead rags are very important. You guys use them at your events.
Yes.
So make sure you have them. And then, so what is, so what are the events you guys got coming up? That what's the next event?
High Rollers.
High Rollers is in April.
Yeah,
it's
and
like
then
3
we
weeks
are
out.
Exactly, and we haven't scheduled the next one yet because we're storyboarding still.
Sure.
So, because we did the rebrand, we're trying to get to the point where we run about 4 of these a year.
Gotcha.
We don't
That's a
want to
good spot.
be, yeah, we don't really want to do like 10 or 12. I mean, it's a lot of work to put one of
God,
these
that's a
on.
lot of work, bro.
Yeah, and like companies, like some companies, like they just kind of type up the story and then they'll run like 10 or 12 a year, and I feel like that's more of a cash grab to me. But if that's what you want to do every month, drop $200 and
Well,
go,
yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's, maybe, maybe, but the thing is, there's more people now looking for airsoft events in different areas
yeah, the
than they
market's huge.
were like 4 years ago,
The
than
market, the
3 years ago.
the market is huge. The last two events, we've had like
Yeah.
200, 300 players at our events in the last three events, and
Well,
each
that's
of them,
what, and this is where you have, when you don't have enough events throughout, different areas in your area or in someone's area, this is where you have a problem with uh, too many people showing up to a certain event. Like, I think that's part of scheduling or like how you count your tickets. But this one person I talked to in the UK, they had this event that was in a shopping mall, an abandoned shopping mall, which everyone wants to play at. Um,
I don't blame them. That
and
sounds baller. I do it.
it sounds baller as fuck, right?
Yeah.
And so the event, as far as the admin stuff, who was running it, was set up, they were thinking maybe like they were set up for like maybe 100 to 200 people, and 400 people showed up. So they
Yeah.
didn't have the scenario set up to where it would scatter people out enough, right? Or split them up enough. Like they were all bunched up on either side. Like on the second level, it was
Yeah, they
just,
didn't have everything set up properly,
no, they
and
didn't have it. It
yeah,
was like their
it
first
was a
event.
cl- it was a clusterfuck. It happens.
Total clusterfuck, which means it was not fun for everyone. But anyway, and the point is that there are way more people looking for these type of events than before, and I think it's good that some of these event coordinators and these companies put on a lot more, and that they're able to put on a lot more, because that's a lot of fucking work, bro.
Well,
The
for
getting
us,
the venue,
yeah,
getting the insurance, getting the fucking admins, getting people for check-in and registration, getting, I mean, to set
well,
everything up.
include to that, we do the cinematics. So now I've got to wrangle actors, locations,
Hmm.
props,
Well, yeah,
video editing. Then you've got the
that's a
back end stuff. I've
big
got to,
task.
yeah. Then I've got to make sure I've got all the waivers done. I've got to have all the missions done. I have to have the XOs and COs on the same sheet of music. I have to make
Right.
sure that all my admins are on the same sheet of music. What kind of admins am I running? Am I running
I'm
red shirts? Am I
surprised you're
running in
doing
player admins?
4. I'm
Well,
surprised you're trying to do 4 a year,
our our
honestly.
idea, our idea is that we are going to get like three or four really solid teams, airsoft teams that are established. Um, Shout out to the Degenerate Apes. They were unable because of scheduling conflicts to help us with this one, but they helped us with the last three. And I will tell
Okay.
you what, I am kind of spoiled now. They were so professional, and I kind of like am spoiled.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't realize how spoiled I was until this one. Um, so
What did they do? What did they help you out with? The acting
organization,
stuff?
back end organization.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, just making sure that their troops understood, if I'm pulling you off an objective, I'm pulling you off for the better of the game. Don't sit there and dig in.
Mm,
Because that's what a lot of people will do. They'll just sit there and dig in, and the one team will push the other team's fob. Then all of a sudden they dig in, and nobody's having fun. The attacking
gotcha.
team's bored. The defending team just doesn't see the point in leaving the fob. They become fobbits, and then you don't have a game. You have people sitting there waiting for the other person to move.
So let me ask you this. I've seen this I've experienced this. I've heard about this. I've seen it
Yeah,
at these mil sims. And my question is there a way to put out different, is there a way to set up the game where there's different objectives to draw people away from where they
that's
don't clump
exactly
up?
that's
Okay.
exactly what we do. So,
Okay.
in the milsims that I have run through several different companies, I have never been a part of more than 2 to 3 fragos, and I think three was the most. And that was when I became really good friends with the combat controller for my team, because that's who they have run all their missions. Became
Yeah.
a friend of mine, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to go do cool guy stuff? I'd really like to have a saw with me all day." Sure.
Yeah.
And we went and did all the cool guy missions. And that was right before we started our event company. I'm like, dude, everybody should experience these cool guy missions, just not like a fistful of people,
Yeah.
right? And so what we do is each team, and I tell the XOs and COs this because we have a XO CO meet and greet where I talk to the XOs and the COs, and this is out of story. This is all back end stuff, right? And I tell them you are much of a part of the experience as the videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Try to maintain character. If you can't, that's cool, but try the best you can. If I tell you I need this grid clear, do everything you can to get troops off that grid because we're about to do something there. You know what I mean? We're having you move people out of there for a purpose. And what we'll do is we'll say, all right, there's down pilot in like A5. Cool. Okay. Right? There you go. I say there's down pilot on A5. Cool. Well, one team's going to rescue the down pilot, the other team's going to capture him. And they're both being given that frag at the same exact time. So I know that 2 squads are over there. All right, cool. 5 to 10 minutes later, hey, funds have become available. They got dropped out of an armored truck on C7. Again, both teams are told at the same time. So I'm controlling where the skirmishes are happening. And every time there's a frago, both teams will be giving that frago, so I know that there's going to be conflict in this grid.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying?
That's good.
And I'll run. I normally juggle about 4 or 5 different fragos at any given time. My record so far is 32 fragos in a 2-day op. But I say 32, but that's really 16 because 1 and 1. You know, I got one here, I got one here, and I'm counting them as separate fragos. But yeah, 32 fragos.
Right.
So
it gives them the incentive to not just sit there.
Yeah, I don't want this to be a land war. Like, can you win with domination land war? That is one path to victory. Frago completion's another one, right? Good sportsmanship is another one in ours. So I have secret player admins that are weaseled in among all the players, right? And they are basically my tattletales. They tell me, all right, well, and they have notebooks that I've issued them. And what they'll do is they say, oh, Jackass over here is obviously not calling his shit. Here's the description. Here's where it happened. Here's when it happened. Cool. At the end of the day, he'll give me that notebook, and I can go through his notes.
And they you guys deduct points or something? How does
that? Those are if they notice a war crime, they will report it in that.
Oh, book, so war crimes, right?
Exactly, and nobody knows who they are. I'm not going to call them out. I'm not going to.
No.
The whole point is they're secret squirrels, and the only time they let themselves known is if there is a safety issue, i.e., Jackass
blind
McGee
man type of thing, like a serious one.
Like they see Jackass McGee about to stick, the smoke up his bunhole. That's when you get involved.
God. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They need to go be on an episode of Jackass. Gotcha.
Yeah. It's something extreme. Like a blind man, you're still another player. You're there for the extreme circumstance.
Okay, I gotcha.
That's when I want you to get involved. Because during a blind man, we learned this in the first one because they blind manned and all of our admins went a running, and then everybody knew who the admins were.
And it was probably for something fucking dumb, because that's what I've heard. Okay.
It was. Don't call blind man if you tripped.
Bro, that's what they do. I think that's the most common one I've heard, and I saw it in a Stonebreaker. I was like, what the fuck, bro? Don't they understand the concepts?
It's not really explained well in the briefing. We kind of learned that in the last one, and we're kind of trying to modify that. In the briefing, we're telling them, hey, look, blind man is, my glasses broke, my arm's broken, I can't walk anymore. Game has to stop so I can get out of field. That's why you're blind manning. If you twisted your ankle and you can limp away from the firefight, don't blind man. Get up, limp away.
Flip your just fucking lay down. Like what? Why would you even call blind man if you don't? Yeah, I guess.
There are situations where you call blind man. Like this did happen at an AMS event. It happened at the last Broken Home. A buddy and me are stuck behind a berm. We're getting shot at. My buddy Robert, who's in a little castle that's over the way, he's like, I'm going to run and get the flag. I'm going to change the flag. I'm like, dude, you're going to get shot. The flag's in the open. I'm going to get it. And so he runs over, and he's wearing a pair of glasses with no nerd strap. And he runs and he runs and he runs, and he does like this combat roll, and his glasses go flying off into the hither and thither. And of course, the second he comes out of that cover, what happens? He gets lit up like a Christmas tree. So I am now Jesus crossing in front of him as a dead man.
Oh my
yelling blind
God.
man because I see his eye pro go flying off into the hither.
So now,
That is
to
what you call
me,
blind
now
man.
that's a blind man for sure. But uh, I am. So my question is, as somebody that doesn't play this very often, I'm just like listening. When
Yeah,
I hear these things, and this is what I've heard numerous times. A lot of these events, especially some of these bigger events, I'm really surprised about that they don't require a strap.
they
Like
don't.
Third Coast Airsoft, they require full seal and a fucking strap.
And the nerd
And
strap.
what's that?
And the nerd strap.
Yes,
Yeah.
both
Well,
of them. And I
I
know people have complained about it that I've heard because of the fogging thing.
yeah.
But bro, I understand fogging is an
I don't
issue.
wear a nerd strap, but mine clipped to my hat, so I have little
Yeah,
clips that
something
just
to secure,
yeah.
right?
Well, I know how I am. I know I'm going to eat it at some point.
Yeah,
It's inevitable. So when I
that's
do, I
most
don't want.
people.
Yeah, I don't
That's what I
want
was talking about
to.
earlier, like with the roots and rocks and leaves covering shit up. Like once you get a little tired, you're way easier to lose your balance and trip on something. You don't pick your feet up,
Especially
your
when you're
toes, your
carrying
boots
a
droop.
full weight saw, all the stuff for
Hmm.
that, extra water, extra
And a lot of
food.
these newer guys are wearing boots that are not broke in, and new boots that are fucking rigid are way harder to maneuver your foot up, right? Your
Exactly.
toe,
You're
to pick
expending
your
more
toe up
energy.
off the ground. And so you're going to hit a little tiny rock. That we used to do it in the military. We
Yeah.
used to, when we would trip, everyone would trip the first fucking like few months in boot camp, right? The first 2 months of
So
boot camp, you're tripping over everything. Remember, the drill instructors were like, "You're tripping over a cigarette butt." Like basically, you're tripping over nothing. It's just because your legs are so tired and your boots
yeah.
aren't broken yet. When you go to lift your foot up when you walk, your toe, it doesn't pick up as much,
Well,
and so it scuffs the bottom.
I was actually lucky. I had an extended reception. We were there for 2 weeks in reception, and
Oh,
every day they
gotcha.
have you marching around pointlessly. And I found out
Of
later the point
course.
of that is to break your boots in.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Get those
it's literally
blisters
two
out
weeks.
now. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Get that
You're
boot
by the
broke in.
time you were actually sent to actual boot camp and not just in reception, where the instructor is so nice. He is just
Yeah, he is.
he's like a concierge, you know.
No, he's fucking hating his life. He don't
Yeah,
want you guys.
he doesn't, but he's being nice about it. You don't
Yeah.
remember that guy when you first get there? Not when you
The
like first get
receiving
there.
and no.
Not when you get like on the steps and you get
Right,
like when
right.
they give you the shock treatment. I'm talking
Yeah.
after that, right before they class you up and they send you out to
Oh,
actual.
the guys that are doing like all the issue stuff, like going
Yeah,
through the line with your camis and okay.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
they're basically teaching you how to dress and stuff, but they're
Right.
doing it in a nice way. They're not
Yes.
really getting in your face, you
Yeah,
know.
that's
Maybe
true. That's
a
true.
snarky comment. That guy, just the nicest guy. I like to call him the boot camp concierge, right?
Right.
Excuse me, instructor. This recruit needs to go
Well,
to the restroom.
yeah, right.
Sure, no
He's not a
problem.
drill instructor. He's not. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He's an instructor that's on his way out. Probably just lost his
Hmm.
wife because that is the one.
And he's just like he's
Yeah,
not like the high octane
he,
fucking
he has no
gung
fucks to
ho.
give. He has
No,
no fucks
he's
to give. He is
this is my 9 to 5 bitch. Now get your fucking gear and get out of my face, okay?
exactly.
He's talking real quiet. I haven't had my coffee yet. Just whatever, you know.
He's not that kill hat that's just there to make your life
No,
miserable.
no. These dudes are up at fucking 3:30 in the morning with goddamn adrenaline injected into their fucking veins.
Dude, we used to joke that they just have nothing but energy drinks back in that little mini fridge that's in their
Bro,
office.
I don't
That's it. Just
understand how fucking high intensity these fuckers. I mean, just nonstop.
no, it's fucking crazy, dude. But it's one of those things like. My wife's like, "Why do you get with Marines? You always end up talking about boot camp." I'm like, "Because it was a highly traumatic and comical experience."
Oh, for sure. It's a
There's,
changing point in your life.
yeah, and
It's a major changing point in your life.
we've all got stories for days about the dumb shit that went down in boot camp.
It is, such a drastic thing that happens after high school. Even if you're in great shape, even if you went through football and wrestling, my wrestling coach was really fucking strict. Okay, he
Yeah,
was an old school, like older dude that was in the military and just really hardcore. I mean, pushed the fuck out of us. Right, yelled at us like constant. but it was nothing compared to going to boot camp. So that
Sorry, my
transition,
OCD was
I
driving me
saw
nuts.
that shelf back
Yes.
there. Yeah, I mean, you go from a high school sports, even if your family life is shit, okay? Even if you had a dad that was like yelling at you or beat you up or whatever, you get to boot camp.
There's nothing like it.
Now, all I can say is for back then, I don't know how it is now. I don't know how, whatever, but
Yeah.
Marine Corps boot camp in 1989 was
Shit.
really fucking close to what you see in Full Metal Jacket, except we had 4 drill instructors instead of 1, and that was
They had
including our
3.
senior.
They
Yeah.
had 3 in Full Metal.
Oh, they
He
did.
had 2A hats. Yeah, there was 3.
Oh,
You just
okay.
didn't. They didn't get as much airtime
No,
as
they didn't.
Army did.
Okay.
Army got
Right.
most of it, but
Yeah, Arlie
Lee.
Ermy, man, what a fucking great guy.
I wish I could have met him, dude.
Me
But
too.
89, dude. I was 89. I was 5 years old in 89.
Fuck you, bitch.
I was looking at the blocks at preschool and going, "Fuck this shit." By the time you were getting yelled at,
I'm going to tell you what's cool. Arlie Ermy, I definitely wanted to meet him. He was a real Marine, or a Marine in real life, a Vietnam
yeah,
vet. He was also, or
he was a Marine. He was a Marines Marine.
and he was a drill instructor when he was in the Marines at one point.
Yeah.
So it really, he fit
Yeah,
that role
he was
fucking perfect.
From my understanding, like if I can't remember where I read this, but I want to say that I read it, and it's truthful. He was actually brought on to Full Metal Jacket just to be a consultant.
He was
And
a
eventually-
consultant.
Yeah, and eventually he was just like, fuck this, you're not going to do it right. I'm just
Yep.
going to do it.
Yep. Well, Stanley Kubrick, I mean, that's a Stanley Kubrick film. He wanted that shit authentic. And he was the best part for that. But you know who I did meet, oddly enough, in the weirdest venue, was Richard Marcinko. So Dick Marcinko was the Navy SEAL that wrote the Rogue Warrior series,
Okay.
wrote all those books. And he died a few years ago, but he was the infamous Red Cell Navy SEAL, and he started SEAL Team 6.
Cool.
So he was the original one that started SEAL Team 6. He was actually, anyway. So if anyone, if you ever want to listen to those books on Audible or whatever,
I need to.
they're
really,
awesome, dude. They're
I really
awesome.
need to listen to more of that stuff. My problem is like, I never grew up. I was always like the nerd. I still am.
Yeah.
Over there on the other side of my table, I have a backpack, and in that backpack, I have about 12 decks of Magic the Gathering Commander, and that
shit.
backpack is worth more than my car.
I believe it.
Like,
Dude, those magic cards. Speaking of that, that's how I met Marcinko, was through a video game thing, which I ran a GameStop
yeah,
here in South Carolina. The first 3 years we moved here. Well, they used to send the GameStop managers to a conference every year to learn about the new games that were coming out. We got to play them. We got to have them.
back
We
when
got
they
to try
actually
them out.
cared about their managers.
Oh,
and
that-
they weren't just there. To
Yeah, exactly.
make sure the store didn't close.
This was 2007 to 2010. So I went to 3 of these things. Well, the second one I went to, Marcinko was there because there was a Rogue Warrior game that came out. The game was shit. It was very B-rate, right?
Yeah.
It was an
sometimes
action
those-
shooter.
Sometimes those are the best games, though.
It was fun. I had fun with it because I had read all his books. But I did get to meet him and have him sign this little picture, whatever. And but anyway, we used to sell those magic cards at our GameStop.
Yeah. So,
Mhm. The
so
card
as far
packs.
as like serious collectors and stuff,
Yeah.
a lot of like GameStops and stuff like that, the traded Magic cards are like notorious for having what are called proxies or fakes.
Oh.
So it's all the time.
What do you mean?
So, Magic didn't used to be really good at hiding, or their printing was not advanced enough where people couldn't just print fakes. or
Oh,
have
I
fakes
gotcha.
made.
I gotcha.
So you'd have like a card
So
that's
their
for
cards weren't
$25.
that intricate or
Exactly.
okay.
Now they've have so many safeguards that it's really
Yeah.
it's if you pull out a jeweler's loop, you can tell
What's a
this is a
jeweler's loop?
fake. It's the little magnifying lens that jewelers have on
Eyeglass?
their fingers. Yeah, the
Yeah,
little
yeah.
yeah. You can pull that
Oh,
guy out and
okay.
kind of just stare at the printing, and you can tell this is a fake or not because
Right.
of the way they print their cards. So like I've never gotten that into it. I mean, I play like once a week maybe,
Yeah,
but it's just a hobby, kind of like
for
Airsoft,
sure.
except for a lot more money than I've spent on Airsoft yet. Airsoft is rapidly catching up.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, just on this table alone, like there's an $80 radio, there's a $40 battery. I've got like 8 of these. There's there's a $120 gun. There's a $300 gun. Oh yeah, the other two guns I brought up. I might as well show you guys because I brought them up here. I was able to get this guy back
Oh, there
on.
you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I thought that was really cool that the silencer screws onto the orange tip.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So
That's what I was trying
the
to show
orange
you.
tip is actually threaded
Yeah,
with those
yeah,
wide threads.
yeah. So sorry, my light's kind of shitty.
No, dude, that's good.
And then you just, let me just suppress that for you.
That is so nice.
Yeah, so that
And
was
it comes like that.
Yeah, that's how it came, and it came with that, and it came with 1,500 round box drum.
So what was this what was this special edition gun again?
The PXG9 special anniversary edition or collector's edition or some kind of
Okay.
edition.
Dude, that's awesome.
It was like at the time it was like $200. It came with the suppressor. It came with the box mag. I'm like, all right,
Damn. That's good.
perfect. Yeah, that's perfect for my little daughter. And then what brought me to tears is that I actually did cry a little. So we were at an event and she was playing in the event, and I
How
started
old was she
suppressing.
when you got her this?
16, 17.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I think she was 17 when this happened. And so I started suppressing something with my saw and the drum ran empty. So I yelled changing, and then she stood up right next to me and yelled covering. And she started with the PXG9 and full auto, started covering. And I have not trained her.
While
She
you
picked this
were
up on her own.
changing your mag.
While I was changing the box mag on my 249, she was suppressing what I was trying to suppress with the PXG9. And then I suppressed it. I'm like, so proud of you.
Oh my God.
Like my little baby
Dude.
saw gunner.
For real. That is awesome. Good for her.
Yeah, I haven't seen her. She hasn't come out because she's got her own life now. She just turned 21.
Okay.
So she's out, doing 21-year-old things. She moved
Yeah,
out
that's
a while ago.
my youngest daughter, same age. Mm-hmm.
She hit 18 and was gone. Like just
Oh yeah.
pop smoke. But all right, so we talked about the PSG9. We talked about the classic Army Mark 18 that I got.
Yep.
And the only thing that I've done to this, and I do it to all my rifles, is that max hop up to the orange. Yeah.
Yep. I've seen those.
That's the only thing I've really done to that guy. And we were talking about the fact that function over drip or whatever the kids call it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This old Elite Force 1911 has beat to hell.
Love it.
And back. And it still functions perfectly fine.
Right.
So just had to clean it a little bit. And I'm not gonna ever switch to a Glock. I know Glock is better or this or that or that. My 1911 is my EDC in real life.
Mm-hmm.
I love 1911 because it fits my hand. I have yet to find a Glock that I can comfortably grip in my hand.
Yeah.
Every 1911, except for the Megastar, which my dad has because he's got big monster hands.
Yeah.
I can fit comfortably into my hand.
Right. So the 1911s are single stack.
Yeah.
And the grip is way easier to hold. It is. It's a classic gun and legendary, and
it was used by the military for almost effing ever before they went to the M9,
the M9.
M6. Yeah, the M9. Yeah.
So it switched when I was in. So I qualified with the 1911 in boot camp.
Yeah.
And then before I got out, about a year before I got out, I got corporal. I got E4, and so I had to go to corporal.
Corporal's course.
NCO school, right?
Yeah. Oh, they sent you to NCO school? I hate you.
Yeah,
I never got to
NCO
go.
school. Yeah, and then and so I did a combat pistol course, whatever. But they switched over to in between that time they switched over to the M9. So I had to qualify at the M9 and then go to the combat pistol course and that kind of shit. So
The
I
M9,
got to use
in
both.
my personal opinion, the M9 is just a 1911 and a smaller caliber. That's all it
Oh, it was
is.
great. Honestly, I don't
Yeah.
have now at the time. This is me talking about it now from from back then. But it- then we were all pissed off. All of
Yeah.
us, most of us, of course, it always split. You always have that tribal thing where it's, oh, I like the M9. Yeah, I'm glad they're switching. And then everyone, like myself, we like the old school. I like the 45s.
If it ain't broke, why are you, why are you trying to
Why are
fix
we
something that ain't
fixing it?
broke? Yeah.
Or, yeah, it's fixing something that ain't broke. But
Like it came down to initially, if you go look back at like the old records, it literally came down to cost. 9mm
right.
ammo is just so much cheaper than 45.
Yep. Yep.
So,
And it makes sense. It makes
well,
sense. And 45s. Now, I will say, as far as the training I had, on the battlefield stuff, I feel like a 45 would be more effective against.
it's got more kick. It's got more kinetic
It
energy.
right. It's a heavier round.
But that was, keep in mind, that was also back then with modern day ballistics. I mean, they make 9mm rounds now
Exactly.
that hit just as hard as a 45
That's
slug.
exactly what me and Gunfather Milsim talked about. Yep.
Yeah,
And that's the kind of stuff that I didn't know. I didn't
it
learn
is.
after, but
It is at this day and age. I guess we're kind of blessed as far as like gun people, right? We are.
right.
It is 100% preference at this point on
Right.
what you want.
Right.
Both
That's
guns
true.
perform amazingly well,
Yep.
and it is preference. I prefer a 1911.
Yeah.
And when I do carry my EDC, and it's Texas, so I can slap it on my hip, and you can't say shit.
Fuck yes.
Yeah. We're still at Mark. Uh, you have two mindsets. I don't want anybody to know you have the mindset of, I don't want anybody to know I'm carrying until
Yeah.
I have to pull it. I'm of the mindset of, I want everybody around me to know I have this on me.
Yeah.
And
Me
what's
too.
going to happen if they try to fuck around and find out.
Right. Like, why wouldn't you want?
I want it to be a visual deterrent. I don't want to ever pull this.
What is the reasoning? Have you heard anyone explain why they don't
Yes,
want somebody to know?
because they don't want people to know because they don't want to become a target. But
Gotcha.
when, especially in Texas, when 6 of 10 people in the room are carrying a pistol,
right?
Does it
If
matter?
everyone's got, if 6 of 10 people in the area or in the room all have a pistol in their hip,
yeah,
like the Old West,
it doesn't matter who knows who's carrying. That purse robber's going to know that there's 6 of 10 of these Texans over here. One of them being the old lady that has the purse I'm going to grab, have a gun, and they're looking for a reason.
Yeah.
Do I really want to steal that purse?
It's got to be a huge deterrent. I mean, to me, it's like when you're driving on the freeway and you come up to the state trooper that's sitting on the side in very plain sight, with radaring, or even better, if maybe he pulled somebody over, and he's got the lights on. So as soon as you crest that hill, you're on the freeway and you're going 80, you let off the gas, everyone lets off the gas. It's a deterrent.
Yeah, like everybody's slow. All of a sudden, everybody obeys the speed limit.
Exactly. Like when you
have you ever? So Bill Engvall, sorry, great joke. He tells a joke about this. He goes,
who is it?
It's Bill Engvall, one of the blue collar guys.
I love that dude. Yeah.
He's like, I was driving down the highway and a cop rolls up and we we're all going 50, and then he pulled off, and then it's back to green flag racing.
It is. It is. Yeah, dude, that happened. Just happened like 2 weeks ago on the freeway. Sheriff is driving on the freeway with us. As soon as the exit he gets off of, everyone just fucking floors it.
All's ass. Yeah, I got to make up time. I lost time because of that damn pace
and
car.
They know it too. Well, I think a lot of them would actually drive faster.
If you're driving in Dallas, they're tricky. And I tell everybody this, and my daughter's boyfriend got caught doing this. So people do that, right? They see the cop pull off and then they tear off.
Mm-hmm.
What they don't do is look around for the other cop that's waiting for you to do that.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, they do that shit, especially in Dallas. If you're driving through Dallas,
Well, I got to tell you, I could really go off on a I'm not going to. I could go off on a tangent about this because I have a real problem with cops giving traffic tickets that aren't really that necessary. Okay. So
yeah,
the
going
speeding
five
tickets like
over.
that is fucking bullshit, bro.
That's meeting quota. That's all that is.
It
And
it,
they're
it
gonna tell you.
is, and I have a real problem with that.
I was
You
listening
know,
to the radio.
abuse of power kind of thing. But
I was listening
yeah.
to the radio, and they were interviewing a cop, and he's like, "We don't have a quota. We have a, a, a required number of tickets that we have to give out. That
Oh
that's a
my
quota,
God.
dude. That is like
Yeah, but
legitimately a
he's not
quota.
allowed to say
Say it's a quota.
with his words it's a quota. He has to say it in that way.
He
That
literally gave me the Webster's dictionary definition of
of
the word
quota.
quota, but he cannot
Jesus
say
Christ.
quota.
Yeah, dude, when I scroll through my TikTok, or whatever, or Instagram thing, I've clicked on a few or liked a few, videos that were, traffic stops,
Yeah.
right? Cops pulling up, or
Are
not
now
even traffic stops,
are
just
these like
abuse of power kind of shit.
are these like the sovereign citizen ones? Or are these the
Yeah,
I
this is like,
yeah, some of the sovereign
right.
citizens ones, like, all right, like, yeah, I got pulled over for a bullshit reason, but do you really have to make it worse? Like,
Well, this guy, so yeah, as
some
an
of them,
example,
like,
this is very similar to a lot of them I've seen. One guy's parked, well, who knows, but he's parked on the street. You can't see where he's at, but in a neighborhood, and cop comes up and says license registration. He's like, why? He's like, what crime have I committed? I'm not giving you my ID unless whatever. And the cop gets real fucking pissy, okay? And
yeah,
he's like, well, I got a call that you've been sitting out here for an hour and a half. He's like, okay, this is a public street, so. And the cop can't, and these are videos about with
at
these
that
cops
point,
that are fucking retarded, bro. They don't even know the fucking law. They
yeah, at that
don't
point,
know.
like, if you think there's some suspects going on, you go up and you talk to the individual. You don't immediately demand identification.
No, he's like, yeah, and he's
Yeah,
like,
I
well,
can agree to that.
why are you sitting here? And he's like, well, I don't need a reason. It's a public street. Well, somebody called and said they're worried because you're sitting out here on this street. And he's like, it doesn't matter what they called about. Have I committed a crime? Well, no, sir. Well, then I don't need to give you my ID. So are we
Yeah.
done? And the cop just sits there and keeps pushing and keeps pushing and keeps pushing because he starts getting irritated. Now this is like, this ain't just
Now the
one
cop's
video.
sitting. Yeah, now the cop's sitting there trying to find something
Yes.
to book this
And
guy
then
for.
and it's very obvious when they change they get pissed off and then they start saying like, I have a badge and I can do this, right? This is what I can do even without suspecting you of a crime. This is what I like them. Then they just start pushing the shit, and it's
Well,
it
at that
really
point,
fucking pisses me off, bro.
at that
Like,
point, as a civilian, you should be like, all right, I'm going to leave the situation. And when they go, where are you going? Are you detaining me? Cool. What crime are you?
and they
detaining
ask
me
him
for?
that, yeah, and then they'll say, yes, I am detaining you for
What
what?
crime are you detaining me for?
Right, and
You
then
are
they don't get
required
an
by law to
answer.
tell me. Yeah, okay, then you
Dude.
can't legally detain me. I'd say, cool. Go ahead and
So
detain me
fucking
for no
annoying, bro.
crime.
There's
You won't
so
have
many
a job
cops.
tomorrow.
Well, I would say the majority of cops are good, obviously,
Oh yeah,
but
dude. There are so
when it comes to, and I don't want to tangent off on that
yeah.
shit, but the traffic stops are fucking bullshit. Okay, they need to get rid of this quota shit with these speeding tickets and shit like that.
You know what? You know what they ought to start ticketing? People that
Dude.
don't fricking use their damn blinkers. Ticket those guys. I will support you. I will support you 100%. If you pull a Johnny Jackass that's going lane to lane to lane without using so much as a blinker,
Yeah,
yeah, failing to signal is actually a finable offense.
it is.
Enforce that one.
That is annoying. I
Or,
agree.
or the
That
ja-
is annoying as
or the
shit.
jackass that's driving with his knees while he's tweeting that he's driving with his knees. Get that guy.
How about
Not-
how about at a mill sim, given a ticket, a fine that they have to pay. Like you have to give up so many of your BBs because you didn't pull your dead rag. Okay.
Yeah, just walk up, grab his magazine, and unload his magazine. Yeah, that's what you
Give up
get.
2 mags. Okay.
Just empty the magazines.
No shit. All right. So,
All right.
so
So
what was the other gun
all right.
that you
So
were going to show off?
we did the 1911. Now this one, um, so I actually lucked out, much in the same way Marcus did with his gun. I
Yeah.
actually got this Avalon Saber.
Ooh. Damn, that's fucking awesome looking.
It is, and I do enjoy it. Um, Again,
Yep. I see
max
that
hop
gold.
up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and it performed. It performs just about as good as my old Fuddy Duddy. It just looks a lot nicer. Uh, so I'm trying to decide if I want to keep it as a buddy rifle or if I want to sell it. I haven't decided yet.
Gotcha.
I don't enjoy it as much as my Fuddy Duddy. I do enjoy it. It is a great rifle. Do not get me wrong. It
What
performs
don't you
outstandingly
what
well.
like what are the differences between the other one and this one that you
Uh, my other one
like?
has nostalgia and it's beaten up already, and I'm not afraid to beat it up. This one, I'm
Ah,
like, I play a
right.
lot more cautious because it's so pretty,
It's so pretty.
and I
Yeah.
don't really want to fuck it up because I don't know if I'm going to sell it or not. So if it's fucked up, it's going
Gotcha.
to be worth. Yeah, it's. I got
Yeah.
to make a
That makes
decision.
sense. Makes
Is what I
sense.
need to do. So
Mm-hmm.
okay, I finally got it. All right, we're gonna rapid shoot. We're gonna do shout outs, rapid shot. These are the sponsors.
Ooh, nice.
Sponsors. These are the people that are sponsoring High Rollers at JC Sactal, April 15th and 16th. And if you want $25 off and you haven't been paying attention, poker chip. You heard it here first.
That's the coupon code or
That's
the discount code you'll type in.
correct. All right, so shout outs first to the field, JTC Tactical, letting us do all the stuff. Elite Laser Tag Equipment, giving us these awesome towers to use. Black Wolf Video, obviously, for all the videos. Airsoft Primate for all of our printed materials. He did all of them, including our brand new sexy K.I.A logos. Evike, they're giving us raffle prizes and they have great product. Check it out. Titan Power, they are giving us raffle prizes. They have awesome products. I swear by them. Check them out. Airsoft GI, they have awesome products. I swear by them. Check them out. Oh, wait. Elite Force, they have awesome products. Check them out. Wow, this is really funny. Anola Gay, I don't have any smoke grenades in here. And my wife would
Fucker.
probably be mad if I did. Yeah. That would have been a great way to leave to end the episode. Just set off a smoke grenade and just smoke out. Body Armor Vent, I don't have their product. I've heard it's really good. I'm going to have some soon though, because
Is
I
that
have
one of your
people.
sponsors?
Yes. So Body Armor
Okay.
Vent, have you heard about them before?
No.
Okay, I'll go into that in a second here because the other one's really simple.
Yeah,
Redline Airsoft.
give the full list.
This is the last one here. It's Redline Airsoft. They just jumped on as a sponsor for us. They were a sponsor in the past, but we failed to maintain them or retain them because we're dumb and we couldn't pick up a phone. But they do have an awesome HPA engine product. They are one of our sponsors. Now, Body Armor Vent, backing it up to Body Armor Vent, they're giving us a raffle prize. So they actually have, I believe it's like an adhesed or insert or something that goes in between you and your body armor that creates vents for air to get through to keep you cool while you're wearing your armor,
Oh
the
shit.
body armor. Yeah, so I've never I've never used it just because I'm like, well, I don't want to mess with my stuff. It fits me right. I don't want to have to resize it because now you're adding an extra layer.
Right.
But from what I can tell, and Matt Stevenson's been using his, and he went out and played at Playas for the last Copperhead, and he said
Right.
that thing made all the difference.
Really?
And I've talked to a bunch of people, and they said these things are great. They literally are designed to just give you natural airflow so that you just kind of, the sweat on your body does what it's meant to do. It cools you down. It doesn't just soak into the
Yeah, it creates
into the
that
fabrics.
gap in between the body armor and your chest.
My concern was that your gear's not going to be tight to your body, so when you take off, it's going to wiggle around. Matt said no. He said it compresses just enough where it still stays snug to you. So yeah, I mean, so I've got some on order. I'm waiting for them to get here, and they've got a bunch of different sizes, and they actually even have this giant one. That's the one I ordered where you can cut it to size.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm going to cut it to size on the backpack, and then I'm going to cut it over the belly rig so that, I got it in the front and the back.
Yeah.
So definitely check those guys out. But yeah, and
Okay,
then
this is
I
so I've got it pulled up. Yeah,
okay,
it looks cool as shit.
yeah, those guys. The guy I go through, Tony Patton, outstanding guy, great dude. Um, he's our representative that we talk to. Super solid guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you shank screens? Yeah, there you go.
See it?
Yeah, let me
Yeah, that's cool, dude.
let me do the hipster thing and click on it so I can see it better. There we go. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Oh, what a cool
Uh,
concept. Yeah. I mean, very
yeah,
basic, simple concept, just like a mesh system basically that goes
yep.
underneath your
And
armor. Yeah.
yeah, and it's you can't really see it too well from these pictures, but where each of those bubbles is, it actually sinks into the fabric, so it actually creates channels for air to flow up, down,
Oh,
and left and
okay.
right.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a really good. It's like I've held some of them in my hand and checked them out. They're a good solid product. I'd recommend them for everybody. So,
Nice.
all right. So that being said, we do have that event coming up. That's why I really wanted to talk to you, but I kind of went on a tangent with myself. We did
Yeah.
talk about it a little bit. I'm glad we did. Do not think I forgot. I'm going to be sending you, sir, some coupon codes for you and the boys. If you can't make it, feel free to give them out to people out here. We really hope that
Absolutely.
you can make it.
Now, when is this?
Uh,
Next month.
yep, next month.
The high rollers.
15th.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
April.
yeah.
Okay.
So I did not forget. I did not forget. I told you that the last time we talked that I was going to give you some codes, and I've got those codes. I just don't
Yeah,
have them here.
I forgot about it.
So I will.
I did forget.
I didn't forget. So I will email. I feel so left out and so unimportant. No, I'm kidding. But hey, but how many airsoft event companies said that you have your own coupon code?
Yeah, nobody.
Yeah, we're the first.
I
That's
appreciate
right.
that. I appreciate
Always
that,
forward.
dude.
Always forward.
Hell yeah, dude.
So, but yeah. So I'll email with you and coordinate on that a little, just so we have the code go out
Yeah,
about the same
that'll
time
work.
the episode does. But
Awesome,
man,
man.
it was great talking to you. For
Yeah, for
aha, we
sure,
did it.
dude.
3 hours. We did it. We did it. Suck it, Mark. Suck it.
Yeah, and we talked about some good shit, man. So listen,
Yeah.
before we end, I want you to recap because this is part of promoting your guys' events and,
Okay.
and details of your different sponsors and companies, whatever. So go do a quick list of your events that are
Past,
well.
present,
You
or
have
future.
the definite ones
Yeah.
that
So
you have.
we have 3 events that you can go and you can see all the story on YouTube. Okay.
Yes.
Those were Vanguard Presents events. That was before we did the rebrand. So we
Yeah.
have Vanguard Uprising, Vanguard Under Siege, and Vanguard Kingmaker.
Now those
And that
are videos that somebody could go watch.
yes, and Matt has actually gone. If you go to his channel, Black Wolf Videos, and you check it out, he's actually got complete. I guess it's like the complete movie or something of each of them. They're roughly about anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour long.
Yeah,
I mean that tells you how much effort and time we're putting into this. That there's
for
that
sure.
much footage. So
Yeah, that is a lot of work.
and that's not even the stuff he cut out. That's the stuff he decided to keep.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, there's a lot of the stuff that like gets lost on the editing room floor.
Sure.
That we've got this event that's coming up now. I'm going to tell you this straight up front. This is probably going to decide. This event is going to decide. The outcome is whether or not we go to continue the story arc, or if we scrub it and start over.
Hmm.
That's why we haven't announced another event yet, because we're not sure if we want to continue this story or we want to end this story. We want to
Okay.
scrub it and start another story, because one of the things we said when we started Vanguard, now K.I.A., is that we never want the story to be stale.
Right.
We never want it to be force on force. We want this conflict to have a reason.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to, well, we got to go shoot the tan guys because I'm a green guy. We don't want that.
All right.
So, I mean,
Now, are these other videos, the other events, or whatever,
yeah,
they're all on the same storyline?
correct.
lead
They
up
are
to-
the events, the history, and the lore up to where we're at now.
Up to high rollers. Yeah.
Correct.
Awesome, man.
This is
I mean, I
how
think that's cool.
basically the NUSGC. I almost did it again. The NUSG. I caught myself. It's how they basically the United States government took over Texas.
Right.
And now they're trying to
I
push
think that's a
north.
cool story. It's like I said. I mean, I've read about it as far as in fiction with Tom Clancy, and it's been done,
It's been done to
but
death,
not
but to
overdone.
experience it,
Yeah.
I think
No, it's
adds
always
another
an
element.
interesting thing. That's all, dude, that's why apocalypse, system breakdown type of movies are popular because everyone wants to know what's going to happen
Yeah,
if all
what
this
if, right?
shit fucking goes to hell, like,
What if, what if, what if, what if,
yeah, for
what if?
sure.
If what if happens, you won't know where I will until you hear me on top of the building screaming Wolverines. Let's do this. Let's go.
Red Dawn, baby. Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I
So
prefer
you got
chartreuse dawn. I'm kidding. Uh,
chartreuse. We got so you got high rollers coming
high
up.
rollers with the litany of sponsors.
Yes.
Black Wolf Video. Oh wait, let me start from the top. JTC Tactical Elite Laser Tag Videos. Black Wolf, or excuse me, JTC Tactical Elite Laser Tag Equipment. Black Wolf Videos. Airsoft Primate. 2020 Imagery. Oh, I didn't say them. They're actually really solid. They did all of our drone mapping, and before every event,
Oh,
they actually come out and they map the AAO. So we have the most up to date that we can maps for our players and
who
for
is
our
this?
command cadre. 2020 Imagery.
Really? And they do
And
the drone footage.
correct. And you can find those
Nice.
guys on the Facebox there. Just go search for them on Facebox. But yeah, I did not mention them. And you know what? Chad, I know you're watching this because I'm going to tell you to watch it. Shout out 2020 Imagery. Uh,
Awesome.
all right, 2020 Imagery, Evike, Titan Power, Airsoft GI, Elite Force, Enola Gay, Body Armor Vent, and Redline Airsoft.
Love it.
We're
Yeah.
working on others. And if you do want to be if you would
That's a
like to be
lot, man.
I will take on, hey, I will never say no to somebody wanting to send me free stuff to
Oh,
give to
for
players.
sure.
It's I will advertise for you if you give me free stuff to send to players. So we're actually going back and forth right now with Rip It. I'm hoping that they're hesitant. I'm hoping that
Oh,
they kind of jump
nice.
on.
Okay.
Yeah, you know Rip It. I know Rip It. We all know Rip It. Anybody
For
in the
sure.
military sphere knows Rip It. We're talking to Rip It. I've been trying to talk to a bunch of other people like Black Rifle Coffee. I've been trying to talk to them.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, dude, that
Dude,
would be
that would be
so
good.
solid. That'd be so
Yeah.
solid. They shot me down
You
a couple
know,
times, so I'm gonna be
I'm
persistent.
glad you brought that up because that is something that I'm really surprised I have not seen or heard of at any of these, all these different events and just anywhere in the airsoft community.
Yeah,
I have not seen, and I'm like, what? Why? Like
you think
we've
you think they would be the ones out there with some 5 gallon containers with their coffee in it? They could sell it for 50 cents a cup, make a killing, right?
oh,
Or give it
dude.
away. Dude, if I went to a Milsim and there was a Black Rifle Coffee vendor, I'd stand in that line. I'd stand in that line all day.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, because there's so many crossovers with YouTubers, and companies that I mean, it's built into the airsoft community already, just
Yeah,
with replica guns that with the brand name, right?
you'd think,
That
right?
that they're making that gun off of. So it's wild that I haven't seen, and coffee is extremely important at a mil sim. Okay. I know people don't usually use it because
So
it's not
in level of importance is dead rag, coffee, your gear.
right.
You know,
Yeah,
now
for real.
as you're younger, your prior's a little jacked, right? So it's your gear, dead rag, coffee,
Yeah, you
right?
don't need coffee when you're young,
No, no, and you don't think you need the dead rag, and you definitely don't need the coffee. But when you get older, you're 35 plus, it's now coffee, dead rag.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
But
Well, that'd be
if
awesome, man. To well, maybe
we'll see, we'll see if I can bust through that ceiling. But I'm a pretty persistent guy. We'll see.
yeah. I know this. They're an up and coming company. Black Rifle Coffee. I mean, they've been around for a long time, but I'm saying they're very busy with. They're still expanding, like
Yeah,
big
that's
time,
that's what they literally said. That at this point, they said they don't have anything in their budget to do anything
bro.
along the lines of
It
sponsoring it.
is. Well, you know what you'd have to do, and this could be something that, maybe like a budget for the milsim. If you wanted to kind of work towards getting that kind of sponsor, is just starting to promote it. A lot of these people, like they'll not just in airsoft, but in other things too. Like guys that do YouTube videos for reviews,
Yeah,
right? Review videos. They review certain tools or electronics or whatever. And because of how much they do of that particular brand of electronic or tool, they'll eventually get contacted by, or if they reach out to them, they have more little, like a little more like, hey, here's what I'm doing. See all these videos I made. I'm promoting this, that type of thing. Or they get contacted by the company because they get, they tag them in these videos and they see it and they go, hey, we'll send you this new thing. Can you promote it?
yeah.
Try it out, review it, promote it, whatever. And that kind of thing. So
Well, there's
it might be
that's
the
like
same thing with Black Rifle,
maybe. I mean, we just started talking back and forth
get a
recently.
bunch of coffee, take it with you, and put up one of their banners or their flags
Yeah,
and be like, look, here's coffee.
just have a coffee bar
Sell it.
in middle of the AO. Make
I mean,
that
you could sell it.
detective.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. In-game currency to get a cup of coffee.
The pods, the
Yeah,
Keurig
yeah.
pods,
This is
right?
this is a non-combat zone. This is the coffee zone.
All
You
right. No shit.
know. But yeah, man. If anybody is interested in that's listening within the sound of our voices, interested in being a sponsor, they can always reach out to us through our website, www.kineticimpactairsoft.com. So, which was lovingly put together by a Mr. Marcus Tiago, even though I fucked up his last name. We know he is the Airsoft Primate. I will butcher that last
Shout
name
out
to the
Mark.
day dead. Oh, all day, all day.
Yeah.
And
Man.
I am truly blessed just to be the organizer of a couple of guys that are really good at what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just the schmuck with the clipboard. So that's
Nice.
yeah. And I got real lucky. They're both solid, genuine dudes, and they're just kind of they kind of are the rockets on this jet. So we'll see. But I do appreciate
good,
you
man.
having me on.
Yeah, dude, it's been awesome. I
Dude,
appreciate
yeah.
you coming.
Yeah.
Dude, we didn't even talk. Like you just went on the website. This is exactly what I want to happen. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyone's watching or listening, if you don't know already, I have a booking feature on my website. You can go on to trifectaairsoft.com. Click on the. I think I changed the name to Get Casted.
Yeah.
Okay?
Get cast. Yeah.
Yeah, Get Casted, and you click on there. It'll bring up the calendar, and that is actually my my Google Calendar. Okay, so if I put something in there, the great thing about this is if we're doing, if I go over the schedule for over a couple of weeks or whatever with my wife, if we have some family stuff, I go in there and schedule it on that same calendar, so that now when you guys go in there, you will not see that time slot or whatever. Or
Yeah. You can block.
available.
You can block. You can block it
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
It automatically blocks it out. So
Wait. So you're treating your business like a business?
exactly.
Oh my lord!
Oh my
How-
God. What?
Mind blown.
So, but yeah, you can go on to trifectaairsoft.com, click on Get Casted, get on the calendar, look at any of the days of
It was
the
super
month
easy.
That's
It literally
so
took
easy,
me
dude.
minutes to do. I was
Yeah.
like, he's not going to remember me. He's not going to remember that annoying guy. And sure enough,
did.
like a couple minutes, he's like, oh, dude, what's up? I wanted to have you back on. Let's do this. I'm like, oh, okay. Sure. I don't know.
I should have messaged you when it first came up.
Yeah.
But I saw it, and actually when I saw it, I was standing at my dresser, in the bedroom.
Well, thank
And my
you for
wife,
not responding, because that would have been very awkward now that I know that you were standing there in front of your dresser. Thank you for that.
yeah, I saw, it pops up immediately.
Yeah.
I get a notification through Wix, and I looked over at my wife. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, Mark tossed me the link because we were
Yeah,
talking about it.
nice.
And he was actually going to talk more about the event, and I told him not to. I said, no, this is your time. You do your thing. You do
Yeah.
enough for us. I will get on and do it at some point. I'll reach out to him, or I'll have Matt reach out to him. He's like, no, you don't even need to do that. Here, you just do this link. And I did it, and he responded. I'm like, oh, shit. And I told Matt, and he's like, great. Cover all this stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks. Sure. Covered.
No,
Hey,
it works
by the
great,
way,
man.
I have checked all the boxes, Matt. Checked
What's
all
that?
of them. I checked all the boxes that he told me
Yeah,
to check
Matt.
tonight. Yeah.
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 We-
Your
he,
turn,
he
bud.
did good. He did good.
Your turn, bud. You can get on there and run around like a madman in the background again without me doing the thing.
Hell yeah, man. But yeah,
Oh.
it's a very simple setup. Just go on there. I actually had somebody, this is the first. I had somebody sign up today
Yeah.
that it popped up. And I have that question at the very end, the form you fill out, like how did you find out about us kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the guy put in there Rumble, from Rumble. So, I post, so anyone that doesn't know, I post our video. So the video part of this podcast goes on YouTube. It also goes on Rumble. It also goes on Spotify. Spotify recently added video probably months and months ago. I think maybe the end of last year. Okay.
Yeah, Spotify is very insistent that because I use Spotify to listen to podcasts in the car while I'm driving, and they're very insistent that I watch the video for these podcasts while I'm driving.
Oh, they're pushing it. Yes, that's their
while
thing now.
I'm driving, I have car mode turned on Spotify. Right?
You know where that came up? Was the Joe Rogan podcast? Okay, was obviously popular on for years, and
Yeah.
he used to do the videos on YouTube, but then they started banning him when all the COVID shit, whatever. And then when he changed over to Spotify, it was audio only. Well, when he had Elon Musk on, the episode where he had Elon Musk, and Elon Musk smoked a joint with Joe Rogan on there.
Yeah.
The producer of the show from Spotify said that would have been great on video. It was like, yep. And then they said, okay.
Throw
and they
money
started
at it.
working. They started
Throw money
working
at
on
it.
getting
Yeah.
getting the video. So anyway, so I put all the video on anything that allows video. Okay, Rumble, Anchor, or Anchor FM is the platform they use.
Disclaimer:
Put it on
Trifecta Podcast is not responsible for all this ugliness. That is. I'm sorry.
I'm
so
they
convinced
see
that's
me
why-
every fucking week. Look at this.
I'm so
they're-
convinced that's why you have me on, is so that you can be the pretty one. That's
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm so glad. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate
everybody needs that old beaten devil dog in the corner. Just bring him out every now and again to remind us how pretty we really are.
And I put all the audio parts onto any podcast app out there. So actual Spotify is has the audio part.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't listen to you until Mark was on, and then he told me about it, and then I listened, and then I did a deep dive binge listen.
Oh God.
Yeah, don't do that, folks.
Yeah,
Pace
don't
yourself.
do it. Don't
Pace
do it.
yourself.
Pace yourself. Yes. Because there's too many. So
Well, no, then you're going to
get-
run out. You're going to be like me. You run out of content. Then you're going to have to be on the show, so you can get the content. That's all I'm here for. I'm just getting the content before anybody else.
Oh Jesus. Well, listen. So this episode we're doing right now is number 229.
Good night. Have I listened to that many? Oh my Lord.
You didn't listen to that many.
No, I didn't.
Holy
I
shit.
started with your first one with Honey Badger. Was the first one I listened
Gotcha.
Because I know Honey Badger. I didn't know any of the guys. I knew Honey Badger, so I started there and I went forward. But still, that's still a lot.
It's still a lot, man.
That's a lot.
I talked to a lot of people, and I haven't gotten burned out or bored with it yet. So
I think you just
something.
genuinely like talking to people and meeting people. I think that's what
really
it is.
I really do.
That's kind of the vibe I get from you. Is you really, it's just kind of neat. You're like, oh, look at all these cool people. Let's talk to these.
100%, bro.
It
Yes.
works out. It works out for me because I spend probably 40 to 60 hours in my shop where I'm at now, and I actually have a TV mounted on the wall, so I just turn you on, and I can just listen to you while I'm
Oh
working on
yeah.
stuff.
While you're working. Good.
So then it's binging stuff is easy. I've seen The Walking Dead, the entire Walking Dead from start to finish like 4 times now.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
working on
have you?
5 right now.
Well, if you like The Walking Dead, you need to go back and listen. Go back farther to some of the episodes where I talked with two of the cast members
Oh shit, no shit.
that are in The Walking Dead that play Airsoft.
Were they
They're
extras or
out
were
of
they main
Atlanta.
characters?
You know, that Atlanta's
Yeah,
where they filmed it.
yeah. Were they
Uh
main
huh.
characters or were they extras?
Uh, they no, they were extras. They were the. I mean, they had some parts, but
Okay,
they weren't
so
main characters. They were the God. I can't remember the stormtrooper looking dudes.
oh, okay,
The
so that was
the white and
recently.
red
Yeah.
armor. Yeah, they're Jason and Captain America. Call sign Cap.
Oh, it was call sign Cap. Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. So you have to look at those. They're close in as far as when they released. But if you could scroll back through, I can't remember what numbers they were. They were around just after 100.
See what I'm talking about though? Like notes,
Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
notes.
Now you got something to look forward to. Go back and find theirs, and we talk about that. We talk about their cast and that, and how they got into it, and all
Yeah,
that
that'd be
shit.
cool.
So,
That'd be cool. I like that kind of behind the scenes stuff. It's interesting to listen to and watch.
oh, I do too. That's why I ask all
So,
these questions.
well, it's like how deep into like my process do I go? Do I want to give everybody all the nuggets or do I want to save some? You have to be
Yeah, and that's
careful.
what I tell people. Like, these are, it's on the fly. I'm not trying to get information. It's just,
But we're
oh, if you
having
say something,
we are legitimately having a conversation.
yeah, genuine, open conversation. So, if you say something that interests me, I'm like, oh, how did you get into that? Or how did that happen? Sometimes people have said, well, I don't, they'll say as they say this thing, that's a whole different story. I don't really want to cover it. I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. And we just
Yeah,
move on. So,
yeah. I kind of did that to fast forward through my history.
yeah, yeah, not a big deal.
So
So, but yeah,
so
man, of
awesome.
course.
And I will leave you with this. My podcast was longer than yours, Mark. Suck it.
Boom. All right. All right,
I
brother. You have a
I
good night,
dropped
man.
this.
I appreciate
I
you.
dropped this mic, but it's too expensive. All right.
I'll put a
All
mic
right.
drop sound in it at the end.
All right. Have a good night, man. We'll talk to you
Later,
soon.
bro.